Chapter 1334. Ma Xiaofeng hurriedly called out to Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping glanced at it and realized that it was just as Ma Xiaofeng had said. The donkey was about to fall asleep. Seeing the donkey sleeping, Zhao Ping exploded. This damn donkey, it was running well but it actually stopped to sleep. See if I don't teach it a lesson. With that, Zhao Ping lifted one leg and kicked the donkey's butt. The donkey was awakened by the pain and as if it was frightened, it immediately rushed out. Zhao Ping looked at the donkey that flew out and was shocked. Seeing the donkey running so fast, even if she wanted to chase after it, she couldn't. Zhao Ping was very anxious. If the donkey ran away, what should she do? Wouldn't the 2 taels of silver be wasted? Compared to Zhao Ping, Ma Xiaofeng was even more unfortunate. Zhao Ping just got down, but Ma Xiaofeng was still sitting on the carriage. So when the donkey ran out, her whole body leaned back and she was almost thrown off. Fortunately, she caught it. However, the donkey ran like crazy. Ma Xiaofeng was jolted and she was still about to be thrown off. As the donkey ran, Ma Xiaofeng screamed in fear. Zhao Ping shouted from behind Ma Xiaofeng, "Xiaofeng, you have to watch the donkey. Don't let it run away." If the donkey ran away, the 2 taels of silver would be gone. Zhao Ping felt her heart ache just thinking about it. Now she didn't have much money left. If she really wanted to buy another donkey, she probably couldn't afford it. Ma Xiaofeng's heart was about to jump out. She didn't have the mood to care so much. Her hands firmly grabbed the handle of the carriage to stabilize her body. Now, she could only pray that she would not fall to her death. Even if the donkey really ran away, it was none of her business. Who asked Zhao Ping, that idiot, to kick the donkey's butt? The donkey was startled, and she was also implicated. After Zhao Ping shouted, she hurriedly chased after the donkey, wanting to catch up with it. In the end, when he was panting, he still saw the donkey disappear from his sight. Zhao Ping had a bitter look on her face. She slapped her thigh and wailed, "God, what should I do? Damn donkey!" What Zhao Ping was most afraid of was that Ma Xiaofeng had an accident and the donkey ran away with her. She couldn't run anymore. Zhao Ping was so anxious that she couldn't do anything. She could only drag her heavy steps forward. As for the frightened donkey, it ran all the way. In the end, a big tree suddenly appeared at the corner. The donkey couldn't avoid it and hit the tree head-on. The carriage was also hit hard. Ma Xiaofeng couldn't resist such a strong force and fell forward heavily. In the end, although the donkey stopped, Ma Xiaofeng was also tortured badly. There was a big bump on her forehead, and it was very painful. It seemed that her skin was scraped and blood was oozing out. Ouch! Ma Xiaofeng took a long breath in. She felt that she was going to die. It was all Zhao Ping's fault. She was so miserable because of Zhao Ping. That idiot! Rubbing her aching head, Ma Xiaofeng felt that she was going to die. She fell to the ground all of a sudden and couldn't get up. She could only slow down for a while. Chapter 1335. The moment Zhao Ping went over, she saw Ma Xiaofeng sitting on the ground. She hurried over to Ma Xiaofeng and asked Ma Xiaofeng, Xiaofeng, what happened to you? Are you all right? Ma Xiaofeng looked up weakly and glanced at Zhao Ping. She was almost angered to death by Zhao Ping. This idiot, she still asked her what happened and whether she was all right. Wasn't this all her fault? If she hadn't hit the donkeys, but would she be in such a miserable state? Now there was a scar on her head. Could it be that Zhao Ping was blind and didn't see it? But even though she was angry, in order to continue doing business with Zhao Ping in the future and to let Zhao Ping help her earn money, she couldn't scold Zhao Ping too much now. She had to coax Zhao Ping. She would just take it as her bad luck this time. Ma Xiaofeng twitched the corner of her mouth and replied weakly, "Hey, older sister, I'm in so much pain." Looking at the injured Ma Xiaofeng, Zhao Ping felt a little guilty. If she hadn't kicked the donkey's butt, Ma Xiaofeng definitely wouldn't be injured. However, Zhao Ping thought about it from another perspective. It didn't seem like she was responsible for it. If there was anyone to blame, it could only be the donkey. She had stopped and asked it to leave, but it didn't leave. She had only kicked it out of anger. Usually, when she kicked the dog at home, the dog wouldn't have much of a reaction. Who knew that this stupid donkey would actually go crazy and rush out like this? If it hadn't hit the tree, who knew if it would have run even further, and she probably wouldn't have been able to catch up. Xiaoping glared at the donkey angrily and put all the blame on the donkey. She scolded the donkey. You donkey, you're too much. When I asked you to run, you didn't run. When I didn't ask you to run, you ran so fast. Look at how badly you hurt Xiaofeng. It's all your fault. Ma Xiaofeng looked at Xiaoping speechlessly. It was Xiaoping who was stupid. She had provoked the donkey, but now she was pushing the blame to a beast. How interesting. Ma Xiaofeng really didn't know what to say to an idiot like Xiaoping. She could only let Xiaoping do what she wanted. Even though she was hurt, Xiaofeng's fault, she couldn't let Xiaoping take responsibility. The donkey didn't react to Xiaoping's words. It didn't understand at all. However, in Xiaoping's eyes, the donkey's reaction was shameless. It didn't want to admit its mistake. She continued to scold the donkey angrily. Stupid donkey, you're being disobedient, aren't you? You're doing this on purpose, right? See if I don't teach you a lesson. Xiaoping couldn't take it anymore. She rolled up her sleeves and was ready to hit the donkey again. Ma Xiaofeng was worried that Xiaoping would make the situation worse. She quickly pulled Xiaoping back and said to Xiaoping, Sister Ping, forget it. You can't hit it anymore. Look, because you kicked it, the donkey ran away. If you kick it again, it will definitely run away again. What should we do if we can't find it? Xiaoping frowned. She rolled her eyes and replied to Ma Xiaofeng, Xiaofeng, what you said makes sense. However, Xiaoping wasn't willing to let the donkey go just like that. She was determined to teach it a lesson. Chapter 1336. Since it was tied to the tree, there was no need to worry about the donkey running away. Xiaoping did what she said and tied the donkey's rope to the tree. After tying it up, she smiled at Ma Xiaofeng and said, Xiaofeng, look, I don't believe that it will be able to break free. How strong could a donkey be? With such a big tree, even a horse might not be able to move. Ma Xiaofeng looked at Xiaoping speechlessly. She really couldn't figure out why Xiaoping couldn't find fault with herself. Why did she have to be so calculative with an animal? If others knew about this, she wouldn't be afraid of being laughed at. Sister Ping, forget it. It's just a donkey. Why are you so calculative with it? Ma Xiaofeng couldn't help but persuade her again. Xiaoping snorted coldly and said, Xiaofeng, it's not like that. Anyone who does something wrong should be punished. So what if it's a donkey? Does it think that I can let it go just because it's a donkey? Ma Xiaofeng replied helplessly, well, Sister Ping, if you want to teach it a lesson, then teach it a lesson. But don't go too far. We still have to count on her to go back later. Xiaoping responded, Xiaofeng, don't worry. I know that this animal is dishonest. After I teach it a lesson, it will definitely be obedient. Ma Xiaofeng responded faintly. However, she looked at Xiaoping as if she was looking at an idiot. After Xiaoping rolled up her sleeves, she walked in front of the donkey and slapped it a few times on the head. If it's stupid, you should hit it a few more times. It'll be smart after that. Ma Xiaofeng was speechless. The corner of her mouth twitched. Xiaoping's logic was ridiculous. If that was really the case, Xiaoping should hit it a few more times on the head. You damn donkey, remember this. If you don't listen to me, I'll skin you alive and cook you into donkey meat. Xiaoping threatened in anger. No matter whether the donkey was hit on the head or was threatened by Xiaoping, it didn't have any reaction at all. This was the most annoying situation. You were like a bomb, but the target of your anger didn't seem to care about it at all. Stupid donkey, stupid donkey, stupid donkey, it won't listen to me. It's so annoying. Pingo, that's enough. It's an animal, so it can't understand human language. Didn't the old man say that this donkey is stupid? It won't be able to understand you. Ma Xiaofeng persuaded. Seeing Xiaoping struggling, she felt very uncomfortable. Xiaoping was silent for a while. She seemed to be thinking about Ma Xiaofeng's words. Well, Ping, let's go back right now. We don't want to waste time here. Zhao Ping thought for a while, then nodded. All right, Xiaofeng, I'll listen to you. I won't argue with this animal. Ma Xiaofeng nodded. Zhao Ping untied the rope from the tree, then said to the donkey, Stupid donkey, behave yourself now. However, to Zhao Pinger's disappointment, the donkey did not move at all. It stayed where it was. Xiaofeng, this stupid donkey won't walk again. Zhao Ping pulled the donkey several times and complained in anger. Sister Ping, is this donkey tired from running? Chapter 1337. She had seen Zhao Yun'er's donkey before. That donkey had been running for a long time, but it was not as tired as Zhao Yun'er's donkey. Why was her donkey tired? Ma Xiaofeng's mouth twitched. She felt that Zhao Pinger's words were very strange. Pinger, how would I know? Ma Xiaofeng replied. Let's go back with the donkey. We can't stay here forever. Zhao Pinger felt very uncomfortable, but she could only follow Ma Xiaofeng's words and forcefully pulled the donkey back home. By the time they arrived at Shuilan village, Zhao Pinger was already exhausted and couldn't take it anymore. She complained about the donkey in her heart. However, the old man who sold the donkey said that unless there was something wrong with the donkey, he would not take responsibility. This donkey didn't move because it was too stupid and didn't listen to what others said. Zhao Pinger thought for a while. I spent a lot of money but still got angry. I am really unlucky. Unfortunately, I have to make do with this donkey in the future. When they arrived at Shuilan village, many women and girls saw Zhao Pinger and Ma Xiaofeng coming back in the donkey cart. They all went up to them and gossiped. Hey, Pinger, Xiaofeng, did you buy a donkey? Speaking of this, Zhao Pinger was unhappy. She unhappily replied, Why do you ask when you already know the answer? If we didn't buy it, did we steal it? Zhao Pinger, we just care about you and come over to ask you. Look at you, what kind of attitude is that? Exactly, what kind of attitude is that? Do you think you are so great just because you bought a donkey? When your younger sister Yun'er bought a donkey, she didn't act like that. Zhao Pinger's face was gloomy. She felt that these women who came up to her were very annoying. I don't want to waste my time talking to you, I am going back. As Zhao Pinger said that, she angrily tugged at the donkey and pulled it to continue forward. Zhao Pinger, you bought a donkey. Look at how precious it is. Why don't you sit on it? It is so tiring to walk back. You don't even know how to enjoy it. Right, Zhao Pinger, who cherishes a donkey as much as you do? Why don't you sit on it? You are the one who is serving the donkey. Zhao Pinger looked at the gloating faces of these people and angrily replied, meddling in other people's business. What does it have to do with you? Yo, why aren't you saying anything? All right. Let's not talk about it anymore. Let's go. Look at her. She looks like a villain who has succeeded. It's so annoying. It was just a donkey and no one could afford it. Zhao Pinger was annoyed when she heard these people's words. She didn't understand why the people in the village were so mean. They must be jealous of her. After avoiding these annoying women, Zhao Pinger drove Ma Xiaofeng back home first. On the way, she met Zhao Tianan again. Zhao Tianan just walked home with a kettle in his hand. He was going to go home to get some water. The weather was getting hotter and hotter now, so he felt more thirsty when he was working. The kettle of water was emptied in a short while. Seeing Zhao Tianan, Zhao Pinger greeted him and shouted to Zhao Tianan. Tianan! Zhao Tianan heard Zhao Pinger's voice and turned to look at Zhao Pinger. Sister, did you buy this donkey? Zhao Tianan asked with curiosity. Chapter 1338. Zhao Tianan was even more confused. He looked at Zhao Pinger and asked, Sister, what's going on? What's wrong with the donkey you bought? It doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it. Tianan, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it, but it's a stupid donkey. It's so stupid. It's so stupid that it's infuriating. It doesn't understand human language. It doesn't know how to run when I tell it to, but it runs very fast when I don't let it run. Look, Xiaofeng's injuries were caused by this donkey. If it weren't useful to me, I would have killed it and eaten it. Hearing Zhao Pinger's complaints, Zhao Tianan twitched the corner of his mouth. Hearing that Ma Xiaofeng was injured, his heart couldn't help but tremble. He looked at Ma Xiaofeng. Seeing the injuries on Ma Xiaofeng's face, Zhao Tianan's heart ached for her for a moment. However, Zhao Tianan soon adjusted his emotions, because he knew that since he wasn't with Ma Xiaofeng now and was with Mu Hin, he shouldn't have any feelings for Ma Xiaofeng. When Zhao Tianan looked at Ma Xiaofeng also looked at Zhao Tianan. When she looked at Zhao Tianan with her beautiful big eyes, there was a feeling of tenderness. Ma Xiaofeng had some expectations in her heart. She wanted to see Zhao Tianan show some concern for her. Seeing a trace of concern in Zhao Tianan's eyes, Ma Xiaofeng's heart had a trace of joy. She knew that Zhao Tianan must still love her. Otherwise, Zhao Tianan wouldn't be like this. After Zhao Ping finished talking, Zhao Tianan just pulled up the corner of his mouth slightly, as if he didn't care about it at all. Sister, I'll go home and get some water first. Zhao Ping glared at Zhao Tianan with dissatisfaction. Why are you in such a hurry? Will she starve to death if we wait a little longer? Tianan, look, Xiaofeng is already like this. Why don't you care about her? Seriously. Zhao Tianan pulled up the corner of his mouth helplessly and replied, Sister, what can I do when you say that? Why can't you help her? You can say something nice to her and show her concern. Zhao Ping secretly said to Zhao Tianan. Zhao Tianan replied reluctantly, Sister, what are you talking about? Why can't you just say it? What's the point? I can't say anything. After Zhao Tianan finished speaking, he braced himself and ran off. Watching on the other hand, Zhao Tianan's a little on the other's face. Seriously. She had hoped that Zhao Tianan could say a few words to Ma Xiaofeng to mend their relationship. Who would have thought that Zhao Tianan would be so resistant? Zhao Ping looked at Ma Xiaofeng helplessly. She saw that Ma Xiaofeng's expression dimmed for a moment, and she seemed a little sad. Xiaofeng? Zhao Ping called out with concern. Ma Xiaofeng pulled up the corner of her mouth and said, Sister Ping, it's okay. I'm fine. Let's keep going. Zhao Ping felt a little guilty. She nodded and responded. Pulling her donkey, Zhao Ping continued to walk in the direction of Ma Xiaofeng's house. After walking for a while, they finally arrived at Ma Xiaofeng's house. Qian Chuanxiu was in the yard. Seeing Ma Xiaofeng come back with bruises on her face, she hurriedly asked Ma Xiaofeng, Xiaofeng, what happened to you? Why is your face so badly injured? Mother, I'm fine. Ma Xiaofeng replied faintly. Chapter 1339. Ma Xiaofeng didn't know what to say, so she just gave Zhao Ping a glance. Qian Chuanxiu, however, immediately understood the meaning of Ma Xiaofeng's glance. She glared at Zhao Ping and questioned Zhao Ping. I say, little girl Ping, my family's Xiaofeng's injuries were caused by you, right? You have to take responsibility. She's seriously injured. You need to buy something to nourish her. Zhao Ping looked at Qian Chuanxiu apologetically. Aunt Qian, Ma Xiaofeng pulled Qian Chuanxiu's hand and said to Qian Chuanxiu, Mother, don't say any more. It has nothing to do with Sister Ping. Qian Chuanxiu snorted, but didn't believe it. Ma Xiaofeng immediately said to Zhao Ping, Sister Ping, you can go back now. Don't take my mother's words to heart. She just cares about me too much. Zhao Ping nodded, then left Ma Xiaofeng's yard with the donkey. After Zhao Ping was gone, Qian Chuanxiu questioned Ma Xiaofeng. Xiaofeng, tell me the truth. Did Zhao Ping hurt you? Why didn't you tell me to get even with her? Ma Xiaofeng explained patiently. Although it was Zhao Ping who hurt me, you should be blamed for it. Why not? Could it be that you were hurt by her for nothing? Seriously. Mother, why do you care so much about it? What can I do even if I really get even with her? How much money can I pay? We can't be in a deadlock with her now. I'm going to open a stall soon, and I'll be able to make a lot of money by then. Mother, it's not worth it for you to hold on to her and not let her go. Xiaofeng, you're right. Qian Chuanxiu thought that it made sense, so she nodded. Ma Xiaofeng said again, Mom, don't worry. When I earn enough money, I'll definitely let you live a good life. When that time comes, I'll let brother study so that he can be outstanding. Our family's life will definitely get better and better. Hearing Ma Xiaofeng's words, Qian Chuanxiu's heart was suddenly filled with joy. She smiled and said to Ma Xiaofeng, Xiaofeng, you are really a good child. You know how to be filial to your mother. Mother, this is what I should do. Ma Xiaofeng knew that it was not easy for Qian Chuanxiu to raise 2 children alone for so many years. She wanted to earn enough money to be filial to Qian Chuanxiu, because she thought that when Qian Chuanxiu was rich in the future, Qian Chuanxiu wouldn't have to hook up with Zhao Wenxue. She had the ability to support her mother, so she didn't need to get any benefits from Zhao Wenxue. Paper couldn't cover fire forever. Ma Xiaofeng was worried that she would be caught by the villagers. If that happened, she would have a hard time in the future. Zhao Ping continued to lead the donkey. Before she went back to the family Qin hall, she went back to the 3rd branch's house. Seeing Zhao Ping coming back with a donkey in her hand, old Zhao's family members came over with curiosity. They wanted to see what was going on. The 3rd branch's family was completely different from before. Why did Zhao Ping bring a donkey with her? As soon as Zhao Ping arrived at the courtyard of old Zhao's house, she shouted to the 3rd branch's house, Mother, I'm back. I'm so thirsty. Get me a cup of water to drink. When Zhao Ping was shouting, Zhao Ying was also in the 3rd branch's house. When she heard Zhao Ping's voice, she frowned. She was already an adult. Did she have no hands? She had to ask others to help her drink water. She was really lazy. Chapter 1340. When they arrived at the yard, Zhao Ping's forehead was covered with beads of sweat. Those who didn't know what was going on would think that something had happened to her. Liang Jinqiao handed a glass of water to Zhao Ping and said to Zhao Ping, Ping, here, drink it. Zhao Ping took it and with a few gulps, she poured the water into her stomach. After drinking it, Zhao Ping wiped the corners of her mouth and the beads of sweat on her forehead. She sighed and said, I'm so tired. Ping, what's wrong with you? Liang Jinqiao asked curiously when he saw Zhao Ping's appearance. He couldn't figure out what Zhao Ping had done and why she was so tired. Zhao Ping breathed a sigh of relief and replied, Mom, I went to the town today and bought a donkey back. Liang Jinqiao frowned and glanced at the donkey in Zhao Ping's hand. He was still puzzled. Ping, what's wrong with that? Why are you so tired after buying a donkey? You can sit on the donkey cart when you come back from Yang City. You don't even have to move. At the mention of this, Zhao Ping angrily slapped the donkey's head and complained to Liang Jinqiao, Mother, I'm really unlucky. I made a mistake. This donkey is a stupid donkey. If I don't pull it, it won't move. What? Liang Jinqiao opened his mouth in surprise. Why did you buy a donkey if it won't walk? He bought it because he wanted the donkey to be able to pull freight so that people wouldn't be tired from walking. Since the donkey still needed to be pulled, it was completely meaningless to buy it back. Zhao Ping pursed her lips. Who knows? At first, it knew how to run, but after running for half the distance, it got tired and stopped running. Can't you tell? Why don't you just return the donkey after you bought it? In such a situation, people won't refuse to return it, right? Liang Jinqiao suggested. He couldn't possibly spend money to buy something useless. As a businessman, he had to be responsible for the things he sold. Mom, it's impossible. Why can't I return it? Ping, how do you know you can't push it away if you don't try? If not, Mother will help you talk to them. Since you spent money, the things you bought have to be good. Mother, you don't know. When we bought this donkey, they already said that the donkey was stupid and only asked for 2 taels of silver. We can take responsibility for other problems, but this donkey is too stupid. We can't take responsibility for it. After hearing what Zhao Ping said, Liang Jinqiao didn't know what to say, because he didn't know what to do either. To be honest, it was all Zhao Ping's own business. She knew it clearly, but she still insisted on buying the donkey. Zhao Yun was at the side. She was speechless. She felt that Zhao Ping deserved it. Who told her to be greedy? If she wasn't greedy, she wouldn't have done that. After all, it was her own fault. She couldn't blame others. Tut Ping, you're so smart. You spent money to buy such a stupid donkey. You might as well not have bought it. Feng Zhangxia walked forward and joked. Zhao Ping was already angry. Being mocked by Feng Zhangxia, she glared at Feng Zhangxia and replied unhappily, "Aunt, it's my business." "It's none of your business. Mind your own business." Chapter 1341. Zhao Ping snapped, "It's none of your business." Feng Zhangxia's expression instantly darkened. This wretched girl was even more annoying than Zhao Yun. Her words were so unruly. She was an elder after all, wasn't she? Her tone was so harsh. She did not care about her elder status at all. Liang Jinxiao's eyes darkened as he said to Zhao Ping, "Ping, you can't talk to your eldest aunt like that." Zhao Ping pursed her lips. She did not take Liang Jinxiao's words to heart at all. Feng Zhangxia did not want to be calculative with Zhao Ping, so she snorted unhappily, "Ping, you're so capable now. It seems like your in-laws are not poor anymore. You even have the money to sell a donkey. We relatives can't even compare to you. However, you shouldn't spend money like this even if you have it. How far can your in-laws live from your maiden home? You even bought a donkey. How luxurious. I think it's just right to buy a donkey. I'm sure you'll ride the donkey cart back and forth and drag your in-laws to your maiden home every day to eat and drink." Feng Zhangxia's words were extremely sarcastic and unpleasant to the ears. Since Zhao Ping did not give her any face, she naturally did not need to give Zhao Ping any face. She could say whatever she wanted. After Zhao Ping heard this, she wanted to fight with Feng Zhangxia. If Liang Jinxiao had not held her back, she probably would have really fought with Feng Zhangxia. Although they did not fight, Zhao Ping did not stop talking. She scolded Feng Zhangxia, "You chatty old woman. You better watch your mouth. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. Who are you trying to scare? You're not behaving like a junior at all. Aren't you afraid of being struck by lightning for saying such things to your eldest aunt?" The corner of Zhao Ping's mouth twitched. She was only talking, and not using her fists was already very polite. Otherwise, with her temperament, it would be strange if she didn't use her fists. Liang Jinxiao was afraid of stirring up trouble, so he mediated, "Sister-in-law, don't be so calculative with Ping. Who's arguing with her? I'm telling the truth. Third sister-in-law, you don't know what your family's Ping is like." The corners of Liang Jinxiao's mouth twitched, looking very awkward. "Sister-in-law, it's because I didn't teach Ping well. But this time, she bought a donkey for serious business." Liang Jinxiao defended Zhao Ping. Feng Zhangxia's words were indeed a little harsh. In that case, weren't they also saying that Zhao Ping's family was stupid for letting Zhao Ping's family take advantage of them? Serious business? Ping, can you do something serious now? That's amazing. That's right, sister-in-law. Ping is preparing to do business in Yang City. Like Yun, she's going to set up a breakfast stall. When the time comes, she'll be able to earn some money by selling breakfast. Her in-laws are poor, so she'll be able to live a better life if she earns some money. After hearing Liang Jinxiao's words, Feng Zhangxia felt a little uncomfortable. To put it bluntly, he just couldn't bear to see others doing well. In that case, Ping is indeed doing serious business. Didn't Yun earn a lot of money by selling breakfast? Now that Ping is capable, she should learn from Yun. Feng Zhangxia's words were somewhat provocative. After saying that, she deliberately glanced at Zhao Yun and said to Zhao Yun. To Feng Zhangxia's disappointment, Zhao Yun didn't have much of an expression on her face. She looked very calm. Chapter 1342. Zhao Ping snorted softly and raised her chin as she spoke. Feng Zhangxia would definitely be jealous of her when she made money. She would wait and see what Feng Zhangxia would say then. Feng Zhangxia rolled her eyes at Zhao Ping. She got angry when she saw Zhao Ping's smug look. Zhao Ping pulled her donkey and drank some water. After resting for a while, she said goodbye to Liang Jinxiao. "Mother, if there's nothing else, I'll go back first." Liang Jinxiao responded, "Okay, Ping, go back first. Be careful on the road." Hey mother. With that, Zhao Ping's figure slowly disappeared in front of old Zhao's house. Ha! Feng Zhangxia laughed coldly, but no one knew what she meant. Liang Jinxiao looked a little embarrassed and did not say anything. Third sister-in-law, in my opinion, your Ping is really not comparable to Yun at all. Yun is much more sensible and likable. Feng Zhangxia nagged in front of Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao only twitched the corner of her mouth and did not respond to Feng Zhangxia. Zhao Yun's eyebrows moved. She thought in her heart. She didn't know if her aunt was belittling Zhao Pinger or really praising her. Zhao Yun thought that it was her first guess. If Feng Zhangxia was praising her, she must have something up her sleeve. Feng Zhangxia smiled and shouted at Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun asked indifferently, "What's wrong, eldest aunt?" Yun, aunt just wants to ask you, do you want to use your family's donkey tomorrow? Can you lend it to my family for a while? Why? Zhao Yun had to listen to what Feng Zhangxia had to say first. She was not very willing to borrow it. Anyway, she didn't have a good impression of her aunt. Feng Zhangxia smiled and explained, "Hey, isn't it because of your son's cousin's marriage? Tomorrow morning, they had agreed that they would go to the girl's house. However, it's more than a dozen miles away, and I'm afraid that I'll be tired if I walk there. There's no ox cart in the two villages, so I was wondering if I could borrow one from you." After Feng Zhangxia finished speaking, she observed Zhao Yun's expression and thought that Zhao Yun didn't agree, so she added, "Yun girl, if you don't want to lend it to us, you can rent it to us. I'll pay you 30 copper coins for this round trip." 30 copper coins was not a low price. This was the normal price. Feng Zhangxia did not take advantage of her. If it was lent to the first branch to do other things, it was likely that Zhao Ping would take the money. Knowing that it was used for Zhao Tianhu's marriage, Zhao Yun didn't accept it. "It's fine. Aunt, I can lend it to you, but I won't charge you for the sake of my second cousin." She meant that if the first branch still used Zhao Yun's donkey, it had nothing to do with Zhao Tianhu, and she would accept the money. Seeing that she had saved 30 copper coins, Feng Zhangxia immediately beamed with joy. She smiled at Zhao Yun and said, "Yun girl, I told you that you're much better than Pinger. That girl is really not good. If only she could be half as good as you." Zhao Yun didn't want to listen to Feng Zhangxia's flattery. Instead, she said to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, I'm going back now." "Yun, don't you want to have dinner with us tonight?" "Mother, you can eat. I'll cook it myself." Chapter 1343. Zhao Yun smiled and said, "Mother, we should eat breakfast. You should eat more tonight. There's too much left over from lunch. How can we eat more? Yun, why don't you come over and eat? Try to finish it so that it won't go to waste." Liang Jinxiao persuaded. Before Zhao Yun could say anything, Li Chuiying, who had heard Liang Jinxiao's words, went up to Liang Jinxiao and shouted, "Hey, third sister-in-law, can't you finish your food? If you can't finish it, let me know. I'll help you finish it. Hee, our family is currently suffering from a lack of food. Share some with my family so that your family won't waste it." As Li Chuiying spoke, she smiled and said to Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao's expression was a little stiff. She said that her family couldn't finish the food and that her family could eat it. She didn't say that she would give it to others. Li Chuiying was obviously asking for it in front of her. If she didn't give it to her, Li Chuiying would probably say something stingy. Liang Jinxiao felt a headache just thinking about it, but there was nothing she could do. Li Chuiying was obviously asking for it in front of her. After all, she wasn't as thick-skinned as Li Chuiying. Sometimes she couldn't put down her pride. It was impossible for her to quarrel with Li Chuiying alone. When Zhao Yun heard Li Chuiying's words, she frowned in displeasure. She had never seen anyone more greedy than Li Chuiying. This woman was very thick-skinned and had the nerve to say anything. "Second aunt, should we thank you for giving the food to you?" Zhao Yun raised the corner of her mouth and asked. Why are you so rude?" Second aunt was just saying. "Look at what your mother said. If we can't finish the food, we'll have to leave it behind. I didn't say that I wasn't going to eat. Why is second aunt worried about my family?" Zhao Yun replied and poked Li Chuiying. Feng Zhangxia snorted coldly. Yuna, don't bother about him. He's not thinking about your family. He's doing this for himself. Sister-in-law, why do you have such a foul mouth? It's none of your business. Li Chuang glared at Feng Zhangxia angrily. What nonsense did I say? I'm just telling the truth. Feng Zhangxia rolled her eyes. You're still talking about facts? You just like to take advantage of others and don't want to see others take advantage of you. What kind of mentality is that? Li Chuang pouted and snorted softly. Second sister-in-law, your words are a bit too much. When did I take advantage of you? You, on the other hand, have already admitted that you took advantage of her? Feng Zhangxia's rebuke made Li Chuang feel that he had spilled the beans. Zhao Yun was a little annoyed by the two of them and said to Li Chuang, Second aunt, regardless of whether you want to take advantage of my family or not, my family's food can definitely be finished by itself. You don't have to worry about it. It would be better to give it to Little Black than to give it to the second family. If it was given to Little Black would grow stronger and could even guard the house. If it was given to the second family, these weirdos would often appear in front of him and disgust him. Liang Jinxiao smiled embarrassedly and went into the kitchen with Zhao Yun, ignoring Li Chuang. Li Chuang felt stifled in her heart and hated Feng Zhangxia even more. If Feng Zhangxia hadn't come out to stir things up, Zhao Yun might have given it to them. Chapter 1344. Hey mother. Just pack some vegetarian dishes for me. You don't have to pack the meat dishes. You and father can eat them. Zhao Yun said. When she went back, she would have to cook some herself. She would share some with Little Black so that it wouldn't be a waste. Liang Jinxiao nodded and said, Yes, that's fine. As Liang Jinxiao spoke, he took out a piece of butter paper and began to pour out the dishes. The reason why there were so many dishes left was not that Zhao Yun really cooked too much, but that it was summer and people's appetite was not so good. They couldn't eat much. These men were not like when they first came. They didn't eat anything good, so every day, they felt that Zhao Yun's dishes were delicious and stuffed it into their stomachs. Now that they ate it every day, after a while, they naturally didn't feel so regretful. In addition to their poor appetite, they didn't eat much at noon and drank 2 more glasses of wine. It seemed that when she cooked later, she would have to cook less. She couldn't cook too much. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to finish it. It would be a waste if it went bad in this kind of weather. Come, it's packed. Liang Jinxiao handed the package to Zhao Yun. Mother, then I'll go back first. They go back. When Zhao Yun went back, it was not too late. It was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. She tidied up the tea leaves at home and put them in a ceramic jar. She tidied it up and placed it on the ground. After a few days, she would pick more tea leaves and send them to those rich people. At about 5 o'clock, Mu Lianfeng came back from the mountain and Zhao Yun began to cook. Zhao Yun heated up the leftovers first and gave them to Little Black to eat. Originally, she was still worried that Little Black couldn't finish it alone. She didn't know when Big Gray came over, but there were a few other greyhounds behind him. These greyhounds were the same as Little Black. They were all Big Gray's children. However, because these dogs didn't eat well for a long time, they were not as strong as Little Black. All of them were thin and dry, as if they hadn't grown up. On the other hand, Little Black's head stood out among his brothers and sisters. Sure enough, the dogs she raised were more powerful than other people's dogs. Zhao Yun was a little complacent, but more importantly, she was proud. Seeing that Little Black was playing with his mother, siblings, and so on, he thought to himself, Little Black is playing with his mother and siblings. Zhao Yun couldn't help but recall that Little Black was a pitiful puppy that had been ostracized. The dogs were wandering around in front of Zhao Yun's house, while Daodu was playing with Little Black and the other dogs. Zhao Yun saw this and took out all the leftovers for the dogs to eat. Even if a dog ate a little, it probably wouldn't get much. It's time to eat. Zhao Yun called out to Little Hay and poured the hot food into Little Hay's dog bowl. Little Black heard Zhao Yun's call and ran to his dog bowl. He stretched his nose and sniffed, then began to eat in big mouthfuls. To Zhao Yun's surprise, Big Gray and the other dogs just stood far away and didn't eat with Little Black. However, Zhao Yun'er glanced at these dogs and saw that their eyes were staring straight at Little Black's dog bowl. They couldn't help but lick their lips as if they were very greedy. Chapter 1345. After eating a few mouthfuls, Little Hay seemed to have realized something. He stopped and looked back with his mouth. He saw that his mother and siblings were watching him eat, but they didn't come over to eat. He barked a few times at the dogs. After Little Hay barked, the dogs seemed to understand and ran towards Little Hay. Thus, the few dogs gathered together and started eating in Little Black's bowl. Zhao Yun'er saw this and the corners of her mouth couldn't help but curl up. She felt that these dogs were very loving. Little Hay had taught him well. He knew that good things shouldn't be monopolized by one person, but shared with his siblings. When Zhao Yun'er smiles, her eyebrows are curved and her eyes are sparkling like the stars in the sky. This scene happened to fall into Mu Lianfeng's eyes. When Mu Lianfeng saw Zhao Yun'er smile, he felt that she was exceptionally beautiful. The corners of his mouth curled up along with Zhao Yun. He walked to Zhao Yun'er and asked Zhao Yun'er, "Oh, what made you so happy?" "Nothing. I just saw Little Hay and his family together. It's very loving and very happy. They could play together on weekdays and eat together when there was food. It was a feeling of sharing blessings and misfortunes together. Being together as a family, this kind of life was the most enjoyable. Sometimes, people couldn't even compare to dogs. They couldn't live as simply as dogs. If they could really live like Little Hay and the others, Zhao Yun would naturally be happy." "Ha," Mu Lianfeng laughed. "Time really flies. I remember that when Little Hay was brought back, he wasn't very old. In the blink of an eye, he has grown so big. Our family feeds him well. Look at the other dogs. They're so thin." It wasn't that Auntie Lou's family was reluctant to feed the dog, but that was how it was these days. They couldn't even fill their own stomachs, let alone feed the dog. "Yes, it's all thanks to Yun'er. Not only do people like Yun'er's dishes, but I also like to eat them," Mu Lianfeng joked. Zhao Yun'er glared at Mu Lianfeng. "I'm going to cook." "All right," Zhao Yun'er said and turned to the kitchen. It was almost summer, and one of the inconveniences was that it was even hotter when cooking. Because there was a fire in the kitchen, there was a lot of steam, and it was very stuffy. Zhao Yun'er hadn't cooked for a while, but she was already sweating from the heat. When the meal was finally ready, Zhao Yun'er hurriedly went outside to take a few breaths. "It's so hot," Zhao Yun'er muttered. She realized that her back was already drenched. In this weather, wearing coarse clothes, it was very hot. Because these coarse clothes were basically thicker, and they were not breathable. It was okay to wear them before, but in this kind of weather, it was a little unbearable. It hadn't officially entered the hot summer season yet, and it was already so hot. If it waited until midsummer, it would be terrible. She would become a roasted pig. Zhao Yun'er saw Daodu running around. When Daodu was called to eat, Daodu was also sweating all over. His little face was red and hot. "Mother, Daodu is so hot. Can I take off my clothes?" Daodu trotted to Zhao Yun'er and asked in a soft voice to Zhao Yun'er. Chapter 1346. "Mother, why can't I? Why can't I take off my clothes?" Daodu asked curiously. Zhao Yun'er patiently explained to Daodu, "Daodu, you just played, so you're very hot. But you're sweating a lot. If you take off your clothes, you'll quickly feel cold. If you take off your clothes, you'll easily catch a cold." Daodu understood and nodded. "Mother, then Daodu understands. Daodu won't take off his clothes." Zhao Yun'er smiled and patted Daodu's head. "Daodu is so obedient. Mother has finished cooking. Hurry in and eat." Looking at the food on the table, Zhao Yun'er also didn't have much of an appetite, even though the food was pretty good. Perhaps people were like this in the summer. It wasn't easy to swallow food. Daodu's appetite was also smaller than before. On the other hand, Mu Lianfeng was still burying his head in his food and eating happily. "This guy has a really good appetite," Zhao put some soup in the rice and reluctantly swallowed the bowl of rice into her stomach. After eating, Zhao sat on the stool and wiped her mouth. She began to think about what kind of food she should prepare in the summer so that she could eat and make her appetite better. Hawthorn slices and sour plum soup were appetizers. Zhao Yun remembered that hawthorn slices could be found on the mountain. If she wanted to eat them, she could go pick them. They were also sold in Yang City for only half a kilogram. As for sour plum soup, it was made with hawthorn, dark plum, licorice and rock sugar. Drinking some sour plum soup would quench thirst and stimulate appetite. It should be very good. The main thing was that it wasn't troublesome to make and the cost wasn't high. Children and adults would definitely like to drink it. Zhao Yuner planned to buy some of these ingredients when she went to Yang City to deliver the tea leaves in 2 days. That way, she would be able to make it. In addition to these, Zhao Yuner planned to buy some thin silk or cloth back and make 2 new sets of clothes for summer. Thin silk was more silky and close-fitting, so it should be more comfortable to wear. However, it was possible that the price of silk was expensive. If one were to buy it, they would have to spend a lot of money for a bolt of cloth. If it was in the past, Zhao Yuner might have been reluctant to part with them. Now that she had made money, what was the use of keeping these people if they did not treat her well? He might as well buy what he wanted to buy for himself and buy it for Daodu. As for Mu Lianfeng, the Shitzi Manor had prepared many sets of clothes for him. There were also clothes for him to wear in summer. Zhao Yun was not worried about Mu Lianfeng. After dinner, the sky had yet to darken. The closer it was to summer, the later the sky would darken. However, with the arrival of summer, one of the troublesome things was that he had to bathe every day. After all, he had sweated so much. If he didn't bathe, his body would probably rot easily. However, Zhao Yuner's family was still cramped in the dilapidated house. Even if he wanted to bathe, it was abnormally troublesome. Fortunately, her new house was almost ready. It wouldn't take too long. Zhao Yuner distributed a large pot of hot water and went into the house to bathe first. She let Mu Lianfeng take Daodu outside. Daodu played with Mu Lianfeng for a while. By the time Daodu and Mu Lianfeng finished bathing, the sky had already darkened. A cool breeze blew gently, and the temperature in the air dropped a lot. After bathing, he felt much more comfortable. Zhao Yuner waited for Daodu to finish bathing before telling Daodu to stop playing. Otherwise, he would have to bathe again with his head full of sweat. Chapter 1347. The wind outside was unusually comfortable. Daodu sat quietly in the courtyard, looking at the stars in the sky. Zhao Yun and Mu Lianfeng leaned against each other. When they looked at Daodu, their faces revealed contented smiles. Zhao Yun thought that if such days could continue, how many days would there be? No one would disturb their family. When she returned to the house to sleep at night, the house was very low and only had 1 floor, so it was very stuffy. It was not as good as the brick houses of the 20th century with 2 floors. If it was the 2nd floor, the room downstairs would definitely be very cool and wouldn't feel stuffy in this weather. When Zhao Yun entered the house, she felt that the house was steaming hot. She didn't know how long it would take for the house to cool down. Zhao Yun lay on the bed and felt that the bed was also steaming hot. She tossed and turned, unable to fall asleep. This was one of the disadvantages of the ancient times. There were no electric fans, no air conditioners, and no heat dissipation devices in the summer. It was unlike the 21st century, where there was air conditioning. No matter how hot the weather was, there was nothing to be afraid of. With air conditioning, no matter how hot it was, one wouldn't feel hot. What Zhao Yun was worried about now was that it was already so hot in May. If she waited until June or July, what would she do? Would she still be able to sleep at night? But in this era, how could there be a way to cool down the temperature? She lay on the bed and thought for a moment. If she could make some ice cubes and put them next to the bed, it should be able to lower the temperature in the house. In her previous life, Zhao Yun learned about physics when she was studying it. Making ice wasn't very troublesome. She just needed to use some saltpeter. Later, she would go to Yang City to see if there was anyone selling saltpeter. If she could buy it, it would naturally be better. In the summer, she could put some ice cubes in the house and make some ice desserts to eat. Seeing that Zhao Yun was tossing and turning, unable to sleep, Mu Lianfeng whispered in Zhao Yun's ear, "Yun, what's wrong? Can't sleep?" "It's too hot, so I can't sleep," Zhao Yun said. Mu Lianfeng put his hand on Zhao Yun's forehead and found that Zhao Yun's forehead was really hot. He said to Zhao Yun, "Yuna, why don't you take off your clothes and sleep?" With such thick clothes wrapped around his body, it would be strange if he didn't feel hot. Zhao Yuna wrapped her clothes tighter around her body and quickly shook her head. No, that's it." Mu Lianfeng was amused by Zhao Yun's behavior. How could he not know what Zhao Yun was thinking? Zhao Yun was like this because she was afraid that he would see her if she took off her clothes. Even now, the two of them had slept in the same bed many times, but he was still very guarded against her. He didn't know when Zhao Yun would stop treating him like this. Mu Lianfeng knew that this was a matter of time. He just had to wait. Zhao Yun closed her eyes. In a daze, she suddenly felt a cool breeze, and she immediately felt much better. Where did this wind come from? What was going on? Zhao Yun opened her eyes and found that Mu Lianfeng was holding a fan and fanning her. "Mu Lianfeng, aren't you going to sleep?" Zhao Yun asked. The corners of Mu Lianfeng's mouth curled up as he smiled faintly. "It's fine." "Yun, aren't you feeling hot? Go to sleep first. I'll fan you and cool you down." Chapter 1348. However, if Mu Lianfeng didn't sleep because of her, Zhao Yun would feel uncomfortable. Therefore, she said to Mu Lianfeng, "Mu Lianfeng, don't just take care of me. You should sleep too." Mu Lianfeng smiled and said casually, "Yun, it's fine. You should sleep first. You have a lot of work to do every day. If you're too tired, I can sleep later. If you're sleepy tomorrow, I can get up later." Zhao Yun twitched the corner of her mouth and had to say, "Okay then." Mu Lianfeng insisted, so she didn't say anything. However, Mu Lianfeng was actually as busy as her every day. Although Zhao Yun did physical work most of the time, while Mu Lianfeng did mental work, Zhao Yun felt that mental work was more tiring than physical work most of the time. In order to let Mu Lianfeng fall asleep as soon as possible, Zhao Yun closed her eyes and fell asleep as soon as possible. The gentle wind blew, and it was very comfortable. Before long, Zhao Yun slowly fell asleep. The next day, Zhao Yun continued to pick tea leaves. Zhao Tianhu was responsible for driving the donkey at home, because she didn't have time to drive him. Luckily, it was easier to drive a donkey than to ride a horse, so everyone knew how to do it. Today was also the first day of Zhao Ping'er and Ma Xiaofeng's stall. Early in the morning, the two of them got up early. It was the first day of business, and they were very excited. They seemed to be able to make a lot of money. Along the way, Zhao Ping and Ma Xiaofeng were thinking that if they sold all the tea leaves, they could make a lot of money. "Xiaofeng, if we can make a lot of money, we can buy some new clothes in a few days. At that time, we can dress up well." Ma Xiaofeng agreed with a fake smile. It was useful to buy clothes for her to dress up well. After all, she had a good foundation. If she dressed up well, she could definitely become the most beautiful girl in the village. As for Zhao Ping, she didn't want to buy beautiful clothes for her. It was a waste of money to buy clothes for her. At that time, my Yuanqing will definitely like me more. Zhao Ping was looking forward to it. Qin Yuan obviously treated her much better these days. Now that he had recovered, he was willing to sleep in the same room with her. He was even willing to touch her sometimes. This was a good sign. At the very least, it meant that Qin Yuan was more satisfied with her than he was at the beginning. Ma Xiaofeng was speechless, glanced at Zhao Ping. There were many people who didn't know their own status, but there was only Ma. She didn't know what kind of person she was. Did she expect any man to really like her? Ma Xiaofeng changed the topic and said, "Sister Ping, your donkey didn't do well yesterday, but it's doing pretty well today. Look, we don't even need to lead it today. It knows how to run on its own." Zhao Ping nodded and said, "Yeah, it's probably full from last night. My Yuanqing fed it a lot of grass. Yuanqing is still the best." The corner of Ma Xiaofeng's mouth twitched. She really had to hand it to Qin Yuan. How could there be such a person in this world? Qin Yuan was always the one who was praising her. When the two of them arrived at Yang City, it was still early. They hurriedly set up the stall. However, it was their first time doing it, so they were a little flustered. It was not as orderly as Zhao Yun'er's first time doing it. Chapter 1349. As for Zhao Ping, it would be better if she didn't help, but once she did, it would only make things worse. Seeing that Zhao Ping was clumsy and did all the work by herself, Ma Xiaofeng was annoyed. It was really a disadvantage for her to work with an idiot like Zhao Ping, because she didn't expect Zhao Yun to do all the work. She was the only one who worked herself to death. If it weren't for the fact that Zhao Pinger was the one who paid for it, she wouldn't have brought someone like Zhao Pinger to play with her. Seeing that Ma Xiaofeng was busy working alone, Zhao Yun said to Ma Xiaofeng, "Xiaofeng, thank you so much for your hard work. I don't know how to do anything. If I worked alone, I probably wouldn't be able to finish the work." Ma Xiaofeng's mouth twitched, then she forced a smile and said to Zhao Ping, "It's fine, Pierre. If you don't know how to do it, you can learn more from me. I'm sure you'll be able to do it slowly." Ma Xiaofeng was worried that Zhao Ping wouldn't study hard and leave all the work to her. It was fine if she worked for a day or two, but if she worked like this every day, it would be terrible. Therefore, no matter what, Zhao Ping had to learn how to do work. "Sure, Xiaofeng, don't worry. I'll definitely learn from you." Sure. The two of them worked for a while, and the steamed buns and shumai were ready after steaming for about 20 minutes. The food was almost ready, but time passed slowly, and no one came over. Ma Xiaofeng didn't think it was reasonable. Her steamed buns smelled so good that she was a little hungry. Ma Xiaofeng then asked Zhao Ping, Ping, why didn't anyone come to buy breakfast for us?" "Well, it's still early, so no one is on the street yet." "Hee Xiaofeng, don't worry. There will definitely be food in a while. Let's eat first. Don't starve yourself. If there are more people later, we'll be busy," Zhao Pinger said. She couldn't wait to open the steamer basket. She took out a steamed bun and stuffed it into her mouth. Ma Xiaofeng felt that what Zhao Ping said made sense, so she also took a steamed bun and began to eat. Huff, 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 it's hot. Zhao Ping blew air into her mouth, and her lips were almost scalded red. "Sister Ping, these are our buns. We have a lot of them. Why are you in such a hurry? Take your time." Zhao Ping nodded. "I'll eat slowly." After having a bite, Zhao Ping felt that although it tasted good, something was missing. It was far less delicious than the steamed buns made by Zhao Yun. Zhao Ping frowned while eating. After eating a steamed bun, Zhao Ping couldn't help but say to Ma Xiaofeng, "Xiaofeng, I don't think your steamed bun tastes good. Did you follow my mother's instructions? Why does it taste different from the steamed buns made by Yun?" Hearing Zhao Pinger's words, Ma Xiaofeng frowned with displeasure. She said to Zhao Ping, "Sister Ping, what do you mean? Are you saying that I didn't cook it well? But I did it according to your mother's method. Don't tell me you don't believe me?" Chapter 1350. Ma Xiaofeng also took a bite and found that Zhao Ping was right. The taste was indeed a little different. She had eaten the buns made by Zhao Yun before, so she remembered the taste clearly. Ma Xiaofeng frowned and said to Zhao Ping, "Ping, there's no reason. I just followed your mother's method." "Then what's going on?" Zhao Ping asked in confusion. "Ping, is there something wrong with the method your mother taught me?" "No way. My mother is teaching us the same way she did for Zhao Yun. She can't be wrong." Zhao Ping also frowned. She didn't think it was possible that Ma Xiaofeng said. Ma Xiaofeng found it very strange. "Then what's going on?" "Anyway, I just followed your mother's instructions." Well, Zhao Pinger's heart was somewhat shaken. In the end, was her mother's teaching wrong, or was Ma Xiaofeng's learning wrong? In any case, she didn't make it as delicious as Zhao Yun ate. If it was still like this in the future, the taste would be a little worse than Zhao Yun's. She didn't know whether she could still sell it. After all, there were many breakfast stalls in Yang City. If the taste wasn't good enough, Probably many people wouldn't be willing to buy it. Zhao Ping was worried when she left. She tasted other breakfast stalls, but she still felt that the taste was a little worse. After a while, more and more people came to the street. However, Zhao Yun'er's stall seemed to be invisible. No one came to buy it at all. Zhao Ping seemed very anxious. She muttered in front of Ma Xiaofeng, "Xiaofeng, why didn't anyone come to buy it? What are we going to do? Our breakfast won't be sold, right?" Ma Xiaofeng was worried about the same thing at this time. Not a single person came over, so today's income was 0. If they couldn't even earn a few copper coins, then what was the point of working so hard every day? Ping, is it because we just set up a stall and people don't know about it, so no one comes to buy it? Why don't you stand there and shout a few times? I think people will come to buy it. Ma Xiaofeng suggested. Hearing Ma Xiaofeng's words, Zhao Ping thought it made sense, but she felt that she couldn't shout it out. Zhao Ping. There were so many people. If she shouted, everyone would definitely look in her direction. How embarrassing would that be? After hesitating for a while, she said to Ma Xiaofeng, "Xiaofeng, why don't you shout a few times? I don't know what to shout." Ma Xiaofeng looked at Zhao Ping speechlessly. She said to Zhao Ping, "Ping, why don't you know how to do this and that? It's fine if you leave this to me, but you can't expect me to shout, right? What's so difficult about this? Just shout at people to sell breakfast and steamed buns. Isn't that enough?" Ma Xiaofeng was really angry at this time. Seeing Zhao Ping push everything to her, she was a little angry. Okay, Xiaofeng, don't be angry. I'll shout, okay?" Seeing Ma Xiaofeng's gloomy face, Zhao Ping quickly said. Ma Xiaofeng didn't say a word. It seemed that she was still angry. Originally, she was depressed because of the bad business. In the end, Zhao Ping came to annoy her. It would be strange if she wasn't depressed. Zhao Ping stood in front of the stall and began to shout shamelessly. Chapter 1351. Steamed buns, shumai, dumplings. Delicious and practical dumplings. Don't miss it. You'll regret it if you don't eat it. Hearing Zhao Ping's words, Ma Xiaofeng was displeased and snorted. This Zhao Ping was really something. Although she said that she did not know how to do it, wasn't she quite good at it? In the end, it was all because she was lazy. Ma Xiaofeng decided to order Zhao Ping around in the future. Otherwise, Zhao Ping wouldn't take the initiative to cook. She didn't want to suffer too much loss. After Zhao Ping's words, it finally worked a little. Someone stopped and walked to Zhao Ping's stall, saying, "Give me a steamed bun and a steamed bun." Saying that, he gave the person a copper coin. Seeing that the first customer finally came, Zhao Ping was happy and immediately packed a steamed bun and a steamed bun for him. After the first customer left, Zhao Ping said to Xiaofeng with a smile, "Xiaofeng, you're right. Yelling is really useful." Ma Xiaofeng smiled and replied to Zhao Ping, "Of course. Ping, you can continue to yell. Get as many customers as you can." Zhao Ping was suddenly full of confidence and replied, "Sure, Xiaofeng, I'll continue to yell." Zhao Ping continued to yell, and several more customers came one after another. However, not many customers came, either because of the smell of the breakfast or because it was the first time they came to set up a stall. After a whole morning, there were few people on the street. The time for breakfast had long passed, so it was meaningless for them to continue to wait. However, more than half of the prepared breakfast hadn't been sold yet. Fortunately, things like steamed buns and steamed buns were wrapped before they were steamed. Otherwise, if they were brought back, they might get pregnant in this kind of weather overnight. "Sister Ping, I don't think anyone will come. Let's go back." Ma Xiaofeng said. The first day's business wasn't good. Morale was low. Originally, he thought that business would be booming today, but now he knew that he had thought too much. Zhao Ping sighed and replied, Well, Xiaofeng, I guess we can't wait for anyone. Let's go back." After saying that, Zhao Ping first counted the money she earned today. The total income was 67 copper coins. After deducting the costs, he estimated that he had only earned 30 copper coins. The main problem now was that the 30 copper coins he had earned were of no use at all. There were still a lot of things that had not been sold. These things that had not been sold added up to more than 30 copper coins. Hey, Xiaofeng, why did you only sell so little? If you only sell so little, what should we do? Can we still make money? Zhao Ru was a little discouraged as she muttered in front of Ma Xiaofeng. Ma Xiaofeng was very upset. She was also very depressed. Zhao oh, this idiot, was still talking nonstop. Really? It's okay, Sister Ping. Everything is difficult at the beginning. No one knows about us on the first day. It's normal that there is no business. It will be fine in a few days. Ma Xiaofeng comforted Zhao Ping, and at the same time comforted herself. Chapter 1352. Ma Xiaofeng nodded and said, "Okay, Sister Ping, then I'll go back and learn from your mother." But the two of them went back in a bad mood. On the way back, Zhao Pinger's donkey made a fuss again. But this time, it was much better than last time. After making a fuss for a while, it started to walk slowly. It didn't run, but walked. It was even slower than the ox cart. Zhao Pinger and Ma Xiaofeng had been busy for the whole morning. They were already exhausted and didn't have the strength to walk. So what if the donkey was slow? At least they didn't have to walk on their own. They just had to sit in the cart. The donkey walked slowly for more than an hour before they returned to Shui Lan village. Zhao Ping first sent Ma Xiaofeng home and asked Ma Xiaofeng to bring some meat buns back. The leftovers would be a waste if they couldn't finish them. They couldn't sell them if they went bad tomorrow, so they might as well eat them themselves. Sister Ping, thank you. Ma Xiaofeng thanked her while holding a few meat buns. Zhao Ping waved her hand generously. It's okay, Xiaofeng. It's a waste if we can't finish them. We can eat them ourselves. But Ma Xiaofeng nodded heavily. If she set up a stall in the future, it would be impossible to sell things every day. There would definitely be leftovers. If she brought back a few things every day, her family's food would improve a lot. Ma Xiaofeng thought about it and felt very happy. Zhao Ping drove the donkey cart to the third branch. When she arrived at the third branch, Zhao was also there. Old Zhao's family members were also in the courtyard. When Feng Zhangxia saw Zhao Ping coming, she said with a strange smile, "Ping girl, today is the first day you set up a stall. How is it? Is the business good? How much money did you make?" The reason why she asked this was that she wanted to see a joke. When she saw Zhao Ping's expression, she knew that Zhao Ping's business must not be good today. Otherwise, Zhao Ping wouldn't have such an expression. Zhao Ping had made money, so she must be arrogant. She was afraid that others didn't know. Zhao Pinger was already uncomfortable in her heart. When Feng Zhangxia asked, she felt even worse. She said to Feng Zhangxia angrily, "How much money I earn is none of your business. Anyway, it's not you who earn it. And you really have a lot to worry about. I'm just casually." "Ping, the girl, look at you. What's with your attitude? You're so rude." "How can I be rude when I speak? Auntie, why don't you ask a bunch of questions first?" "Really?" Zhao Pinger replied angrily. Seeing Feng Zhangxia's gloating face, Zhao Ping was even angrier. Feng Zhangxia was probably happy that she couldn't make money. This kind of person just couldn't bear to see others doing well. "Third sister-in-law, look at your family's Ping girl. You're right next to her. Look at her. It's fine if you talk to me like this. If you talk to others like this, people who don't know will think that our old Zhao's family education is like this." Feng Zhangxia hurriedly looked at Liang Jinxiao and said to Liang Jinxiao. Zhao Pinger's mouth twitched. This Feng Zhangxia only knew how to complain. She was good at complaining about others. Why didn't she complain about herself? Chapter 1353. Liang Jinxiao smiled embarrassedly. "Sister-in-law, please don't argue with Ping. If she doesn't want to say it, don't ask her. It doesn't matter whether it's good or not. It's a good thing to learn how to run a business." Feng Zhangxia snorted. She knew that Liang Jinxiao disliked her for being a busybody. It's fine if you don't care. Anyway, judging from Zhao Pinger's behavior, it seemed that she didn't make any money. Thinking of this, Feng Zhangxia felt happy. Zhao Pinger is such a b****. It's definitely God's blessing that she didn't make any money. Zhao Pinger saw that Feng Zhangxia didn't say anything nice, so she rolled her eyes at Feng Zhangxia. She went to the room of the third branch and was about to drink some water. Seeing that there were only her own family members in the house, and that the other branches didn't like to cause trouble, Zhao Pinger said to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, do you still need to ask? They definitely didn't make much money." Liang Jinxiao frowned worriedly and couldn't help asking, "Why? Is it because the market is too bad?" If the market wasn't good and there weren't many people, it was normal that no one would buy a stall. Zhao Pinger said with annoyance, "Mother, since I've rented a stall, I won't choose a stall with a bad market. It's better that I don't rent one." Hearing Zhao Pinger's words, Liang Jinxiao hesitated. If it wasn't because the market was bad, then what was the reason? When Zhao Yuner opened her stall for the first time, the business was very good. Why did it have a problem when it came to Zhao Pinger's stall? Zhao Pinger pulled Liang Jinxiao a little angrily and whispered to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, there's something wrong with the method you taught me in Xiaofeng. The taste of the food is not right." "No way, Mother, have you done it yourself?" Liang Jinxiao replied with a guilty conscience, "I haven't made the stuffing myself before, but Yuner has done it before. I just made it according to Yuner style. There's nothing wrong with it. Mother, have you eaten the buns you made?" Liang Jinxiao shook his head. "That's not the case." "Then it's settled. Mother, I think you must have done something wrong. Why don't you try it today?" Liang Jinxiao responded. Zhao Pinger's business was not doing well, so she was naturally worried. He had already invested all his capital, so he couldn't possibly suffer a loss, right? Then her Pinger's life in her husband's family would be even more difficult. When the time came, she would have to ask her family for help. Zhao Yun heard Zhao Pinger and Liang Jinxiao whispering, but she didn't know what they were talking about. She thought it couldn't be anything good. Her mother was really too much. She couldn't have discussed something with Zhao Pinger behind her back, right? "Ping, do you want to stay at home for lunch before you go back?" Liang Jinxiao asked again. "Mother, of course I want to go out before I go back." She still had to wait for her mother to make the buns and taste them later. "Okay, I'll prepare more for lunch. You can stay for lunch." "Got it, Mother." Zhao Yun felt angry when she saw this scene. Zhao Pinger was married, but she still came to her mother's house from time to time. Unfortunately, her mother was like this. Zhao Pinger couldn't vent her anger on Liang Jinxiao, so she couldn't help but say, "Ping, Mother is so good to you. When you make money later, shouldn't you give Mother more money to be filial to her?" Chapter 1354. Besides, I should give the money to my in-laws. If my in-laws find out that I've given money to my family, I don't know how they'll react. Of course, if they want to scold me, they'll scold me. It has nothing to do with you. Zhao Yun looked at Zhao Ping speechlessly. Hearing Zhao Pinger's words, Liang Jinxiao's eyes darkened for a second, and he looked a little sad. It seemed that he was disappointed by Zhao Pinger's words. Zhao Yun sneered. "Ping, you're right. You know that a married daughter is like spilled water. How do you know that you don't give a single cent to your family, but you come to my family for free food? Ping, don't you feel ashamed?" Zhao Ping was humiliated by Zhao Pinger, and her face turned red. She glared at Zhao Yun and said to Zhao Yun, "You bitch, it's none of your business. I'm not eating your food." The moment Zhao Pinger finished her words, Zhao Yun slapped her and warned her coldly, "Ping, I told you not to call me bitch. Why don't you learn your lesson? I think you're asking for it. I'll just beat you up." Zhao Pinger's face went numb all of a sudden, and Liang Jinxiao was also shocked by Zhao Yun's slap. "Yun?" Liang Jinxiao thought that Zhao Pinger would make a scene, but to her surprise, Zhao Pinger suddenly behaved herself. "Zhao Pinger, your family has spent a lot of money on you. Don't treat this place as a treasury after you get married. Zhao Ping glared at Zhao Yun, but didn't dare to say a word. Right at this moment, Li Chuang's cries suddenly came from the yard. "What's wrong?" Liang Jinxiao murmured, then ran out in a hurry. Zhao Yun glanced at Zhao Ping, then followed her out. In the yard of old Zhao's house, Li Chuang was crying and yelling on the ground. "My God, why is my life so miserable? I can't control my man. All he knows is to go out and find another woman. Why did he have to find a widow? Sob, 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 sob. How are we going to live in the future? Oh God, why can't you do something for me? Vixen, now that you've lost your man, you only know how to seduce other men." Hearing Li Chuang's words, Zhao Yun guessed that Li Chuang must have found out about Zhao Wenshui's affair. There were so many people in the village, so there was bound to be a time when someone found out about it. In addition, there were many gossips in the village. Gradually, some rumors were spread, and Li Chuang would eventually hear about it. Hearing Li Chuang's roar, old Zhao's family members all came out of the house to see what was going on. Seeing Li Chuang acting like a shrew, Hua Chunhua scolded unhappily, "My dear daughter-in-law, what's wrong with you? Why are you yelling? Your father and I are not dead yet, but you're crying like a funeral. How unlucky." Feng Zhangxia gloated, "Exactly, my dear daughter-in-law, why are you yelling so loudly? If I didn't know, I would think something big had happened." Li Chuang pulled a long face and said to Hua Chunhua, "Mother, you don't know. Tianyu's father did something wrong to me. I can't cry." Chapter 1355. This second daughter-in-law of hers loved to make a scene. She must have quarreled with her second son and was now crying and yelling. These days, it was normal for couples to quarrel. However, they usually quarreled at the head of the bed and reconciled at the end of the bed. There was no need to talk about this kind of thing in public. If other people in the village saw it, they would inevitably be laughed at. Hurry up and get up. Don't make a fuss. Don't you think it's embarrassing? Can't you talk about it properly behind closed doors? Do you have to make it known to everyone so that you'll be happy? Mother, we can't talk about this behind closed doors. I want everyone to listen and judge for me. I can't be bullied like this. This is really unfair. Li Chuang was still sitting on the ground. She was wiping her tears as she spoke. Hua Chunhua's mouth kept twitching. This second daughter-in-law of hers was actually not listening to her words. She said to Li Chuang angrily, "Well, if you don't make it clear to me today, it won't be a big deal. You're making a fuss. Let's see how I'll deal with you." Zhao Yun was speechless when she saw Hua Chunhua's angry look. As expected, Hua Chunhua liked to take advantage of her son. After all, her daughter-in-law was an outsider. When something happened, the first person she would defend was her son, not her daughter-in-law. No matter whether her daughter-in-law really had some difficulties or had been wronged, she would always protect her daughter-in-law. The more she looked at this group of people in old Zhao's family, the more ironic Zhao Yun felt. What kind of people were they? Feng Zhangxia saw Li Chuang's pitiful look and felt secretly pleased. She scolded Li Chuang for asking for it. On the surface, Feng Zhangxia suppressed the joy in her heart. Feng Zhangxia said to Li Chuang in a low voice, "Sister-in-law, if you have something to say, just say it. Don't hesitate. I don't know what's going on. How can I judge for you?" Li Chuang wiped her tears. At this time, she was not in the mood to quarrel with Feng Zhangxia. Instead, she cried and complained, "Mother, when I was washing clothes just now, I heard people talking about Tianyu's father and Widow Qian. I also saw Tianyu's father go in and out of Widow Qian's house several times. Mother, you don't even know how unpleasant the rumors outside are. I'm so angry. I don't even dare to step out of this house. I have no place to show my face." Hearing Li Chuang's words, Hua Chunhua's brows suddenly knitted together. After thinking for a while, she continued to scold Li Chuang, "Second daughter-in-law, if you want to save face, why are you shouting about this kind of thing? Are you afraid that the people in the village don't know? Do they have to believe whatever others say? You caught Tianyu going to Widow Qian's house? You have to have evidence. Don't jump to conclusions if you are not sure." If Tianyu is not like this, he will be wronged by you. At this point, Hua Chunhua still defended her son first, not Li Chui. In the end, he was an unreasonable person. Zhao Yun snorted. She felt that it was really strange. But this was Li Chuang's business. She would just watch and not interfere. Hua Chunhua ran to Li Chuang and pulled Li Chuang up. Get up quickly. Don't be a disgrace. If you make a fuss, people will come and see. You don't think it's shameful, but I do. Li Chuang was heartbroken. Chapter 1356. Mother, I won't get up. I have to get to the bottom of this matter today. Mother, it can't be fake anyway. So many people saw it. Are they all blind? Can't they see it clearly? Li Chuang was really disappointed this time. She knew that these people in old Zhao's family were all the same. They would definitely side with Zhao Wenshui instead of her. If she didn't make a big fuss, this matter would probably be left unsettled. No one would stand up for her. She couldn't swallow this bitterness in her stomach. After all, no woman would be willing to let her man hook up with another woman. Feng Zhangxia was not afraid of making a big fuss and echoed on the side, "Yes, sister-in-law. It's true. Why don't you believe your own man? Why don't you believe others' words? Don't make a fuss about this matter, or you'll embarrass our old Zhao's family." Hua Chunhua snorted softly. How can a bitch like her know our old Zhao's family's reputation? I think she just forgot. She did it on purpose. Li Chuang glared at Feng Zhangxia resentfully and scolded her. Sister-in-law, it's easy for you to say that. If Big Brother did this kind of thing, I'll see if you can still talk nicely and not make a fuss. My man wouldn't do this kind of thing. And I believe in him. I don't want you to start doubting because of some rumors outside. Li Chuang snorted coldly. Everyone knew how to say such beautiful words. Even if it really happened, no one knew what kind of reaction they would have. She didn't believe that her sister-in-law wouldn't explode when she heard that her man hooked up with another woman. I'm not saying this without evidence. There's no smoke without fire. What's the point of people saying that Tianyu's father hooked up with Widow Qian? Why didn't they spread it to anyone else but Tianyu's father? I don't believe it. Is there really nothing wrong at all? Li Chuang said angrily. Because she had cried, her eyes were red and looked a little scary. Hua Chunhua knew that Li Chuang's words were reasonable. In fact, she guessed that Zhao Wenshui really did go to Widow Qian. The rumors in the village were basically true. Otherwise, no one would have the time to come out and make a fuss about it. After all, he was her son. Hua Chunhua still protected him. There was no reason for her to protect her daughter-in-law. Therefore, he said to Li Chuang unhappily, "Second daughter-in-law, if this is true, you shouldn't make a fuss. It's not good if other people hear it. Second brother is your man. As a man, you have to protect his face. Even if second brother is really looking for that Widow Qian, you should be looking for problems with yourself. Did you do something wrong? Otherwise, why can't you keep your man's heart?" When Zhao Yun heard Hua Chunhua's words, her worldview was refreshed. What the hell? How could she have the nerve to say such things? She was at her wits' end when it came to such an unreasonable person. Glancing at Li Chuang, Zhao Yun felt that Li Chuang was a little pitiful. In other words, she was sad. In this era, a woman's status was so low that she met an unreasonable mother-in-law. She would really feel tired of being an unreasonable woman. Chapter 1357. Why did the woman have to reflect on her actions? It was so strange. Li Chuang choked and swallowed her tears. Mother, what did I do wrong? I did a lot of chores at home. How is it a thankless task? Tianyu's father did this to me. And that Widow Qian, that shameless B****, seduced someone else's man after losing her own man. I have to find Li Zheng and ask him to be the judge. I have to ask him how he should punish that B****. After Li Chuang said this, Hua Chunhua, who had been arguing for a long time, suddenly became angry. She said to Li Chuang angrily, "Second daughter-in-law, I think you're just itching for a beating. You're only going to be happy if you make our old Zhao family lose face, right? Why doesn't it make sense? We shouldn't have let you marry into our family in the first place. Marrying into our old Zhao family, you just like to cause trouble and cause trouble. You don't have a peaceful life. Hua Chunhua was so angry because Li Chuang said that she would find Li Zheng. If she really did find Li Zheng, then this matter would be known by others and spread throughout the village. Putting aside whether Zhao Wenxue would be punished or not, in any case, it would be embarrassing. For so many years, old Zhao's family had been laughed at many times. Now that there were a few happy events, the villagers were envious of old Zhao's family. If this matter were to happen now, they would inevitably be mocked by others. The more Hua Chunhua thought about it, the angrier she became. She wanted to teach Li Chuang a lesson, but she was stopped by Qian Zhozhe. Qian Zhozhe persuaded Hua Chunhua, "Mother, don't hit her. Second sister-in-law didn't do anything wrong in this matter. After all, second brother did something wrong to second sister-in-law. It's okay for second sister-in-law to complain. We're all family. If there's a problem, talk it out. Don't hit her." Only then did Hua Chunhua stop. Her sharp eyes were still staring at Li Chuang. She's just itching for a beating. How could she care about her man? Men are women's sky. Women can only obey. It's normal for him to have 3 wives and 4 concubines. If second brother has the ability, he can marry a few more. When that day comes, won't you cause a ruckus? After Hua Chunhua said this, everyone in old Zhao's courtyard fell silent. It was normal for a man to have 3 wives and 4 concubines, but this was not the case. It's not like Zhao Wenxue married Qian Chuanxiu. They're just having an affair. Since when did cheating become a matter of course? Could it be because Qian Zhozhe to a husband too? But the nature of the matter did not change. Hua Chunhua's words were obviously distorting the truth. She was protecting Zhao Wenxue unreasonably. Zhao Yue looked coldly at Hua Chunhua with a sarcastic smile on her face. She had seen it for herself. Hua Chunhua had really opened her eyes today. If she were Li Chuang and had such a strange mother-in-law, she would definitely fight with her. Li Chuang stared at Hua Chunhua with red eyes and said in a choked voice, "Mother, can't you speak with some conscience? Tianyu's father did this. Are you saying that I'm in the wrong? I've been married for more than 20 years and have given birth to children for old Zhao's family. Now that they're treating me like this, who's the one at fault?" Chapter 1358. What's going on in old Zhao's family? I don't know. The daughter-in-law of the second branch of the family is making a fuss. It must be something big. Exactly. This family is always like that. Is there a troublemaker? Let's go and have a look. It must be something interesting this time. Is it because of the daughter-in-law of the second branch of the family? I think it must be because of the affair between Zhao Wenxue and Widow Qian. Many people in our village know about it. When I saw Li Chuang's wife today, I heard about it. I was so angry that I went home. Now they are making a fuss. What? Zhao Wenxue and Widow Qian have an affair? Was this real or fake? Is it a rumor? How can it be a rumor? It's true. Believe it or not. Where did you hear it from? Is it true? You can't talk about it. Nonsense. I saw it with my own eyes once. The two of them were together for a while. They were very happy. It seems to be true. In that case, Li Chuang is so pitiful. Her husband has an affair with another woman. What can she do? Men are always like that. They eat from the bowl, think about the pot, and look forward to the vegetable field outside. They are always satisfied with a woman. Why do they have to go out and have an affair? The villagers' discussion was basically biased towards Li Chuang. After all, people sympathized with the weak. In this case, Zhao Wenxue had done something wrong. In the village, one of the most hated things was a man having an affair with a woman. From a moral point of view, it was also something that was not allowed. Hearing the villagers gossiping, Hua Chunhua was infuriated. Now, more and more people came to join in the fun. More and more people would know about it. At that time, everyone would know about it. The whole village would be a joke again. Hua Chunhua stared at Li Chuang, who was on the ground. Now even Qian Zhaodate couldn't stop her. Hua Chunhua rushed to Li Chuang and scratched Li Chuang's face. Seeing that Hua Chunhua was angry, Li Chuang immediately moved away. Li Chuang's hand fell on Li Chuang's hair. Hua Chunhua conveniently grabbed Li Chuang's hair and wanted to pull him up. Bitch is bitch. And I. Qian Zhaodate frowned and tried to pull him again. She reminded Hua Chunhua, "Mother, don't hit him. There are so many people watching. I don't know what they will say about you." Hua Chunhua wasn't afraid of other things. What she was most afraid of was being talked about by others. The spittle could drown her. Hua Chunhua hesitated for a while before letting go. To prevent the villagers from watching, Hua Chunhua began to chase them away. "Stop looking. What are you looking at? Go away. Nothing happened." Auntie Zhao, how is this nothing happened? The villagers are all here." With such a big commotion, there must be something going on. Your second daughter-in-law is crying so miserably. Did she bully someone? Big Sister Li, tell us. There are so many people in the village. If something happened, we can help you judge. Chapter 1359. Needless to say, these people who wanted to join in the fun wouldn't mind it. Hua Chunhua picked up the broom on the ground and wanted to drive them away. "Go away, don't stay in front of my house. You all like to join in the fun. What does my family's business have to do with you?" Seeing Hua Chunhua waving the broom, the onlooking villagers frowned and were very displeased. It was normal for other villagers to join in the fun when someone's family was in trouble. Why couldn't they do it in front of old Zhao's family? Hua Chunhua's behavior aroused the dissatisfaction of the villagers, so they said something to Hua Chunhua. "I think Auntie Zhao, your family must have done something shameful, right?" "Of course. If it's not something shameful, why did you drive us away?" This is called a guilty conscience." "Oh, it turns out to be a guilty conscience. Everybody, tell us what happened." Mrs. Zhao is so agitated. She's afraid that others will know. Tut, even if she drives us away, we know what happened. The villagers aren't fools. Her son ran out to find another woman. Instead of teaching her son a lesson, she punished her daughter-in-law. Oh my God, is this for real? Is she still a human? She's worse than a beast. It's not like I haven't seen weird people before. Doesn't Auntie Zhao like to do this kind of thing all the time? She doesn't treat her daughter-in-law as a human and only cares about her son. Anyone who is sensible can see it clearly. After hearing the villagers' discussion, Hua Chunhua became even more exasperated. It turned out that the villagers all knew about it, but they just didn't mention it in front of old Zhao's family. She had already lost her face, but she still wanted to hide it from them. Hua Chunhua stomped her feet in anger. It was all her second son's fault. The things that she had done in the past few days had made her curse her mother. Stealing money and having leftovers. Now that something like this had happened, the villagers would probably laugh their heads off, right? At this time, Zhao Baoshan came back from outside and heard the noise in the yard. He walked up and asked unhappily, "What happened? Why is there such a big scene?" Li Chuang rushed to Zhao Baoshan and cried. Hua Chunhua wanted to stop Li Chuang from speaking, but Zhao Baoshan glared at her. In front of Zhao Baoshan, Hua Chunhua did not dare to be too presumptuous. Li Chuang then told Zhao Baoshan what had happened. When Zhao Baoshan heard it, his face turned livid with anger. At this time, Zhao Wenxue was working in the field instead of at home. Otherwise, Zhao Baoshan would have sent people to find Zhao Wenxue. Zhao Baoshan said to Zhao Wenxue with a sullen face, "Baoshan, go to the second branch's field and ask him to come back. Today, I have to ask him what he has done." Hua Chunhua patted her thigh anxiously. She kept complaining in her heart that her father was so silly. It was a scandal. Couldn't he just close the door and talk about it with the whole family? Because of this, the villagers had to continue to join in the fun. No matter how they dealt with it, the villagers would laugh at them. Zhao Wenxue responded, "Okay, father, I'll go to the field to find my second brother right now." "Hurry up, don't dawdle." Okay. Chapter 1360. Everyone in the yard was waiting for Zhao Wenshui to come back. Zhao Baoshan said to Li Chuing, Baoshan's wife, don't worry. When Baoshan comes back, he'll get to the bottom of it. If she did anything wrong to you, whoever it is will suffer. He will definitely give you an explanation. Compared with Hua Chuanhua's attitude, Zhao Baoshan thought it was much better. Zhao Yun watched them from the side. Luckily, there was still a sensible person in old Zhao's family. Otherwise it would be a mess. Li Chuiying wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes and looked at Zhao Baoshan with gratitude. Father, thank you so much, she said to Zhao Baoshan. Well, Zhao Baoshan sighed. Why did this child thank him? He did what he should do. If Zhao Wenshui really did something to hurt Li Chuing, old Zhao's family should give Li Chuiying an explanation. After waiting for a while, Zhao Wenshui ran back, panting. Baoshan, where's Baoshan? Why didn't he come back? Zhao Baoshan asked with a frown. Zhao Wenshui took a deep breath and replied, Father, Baoshan isn't working in the field. I can't find him. What? After looking around, I still can't find it. Zhao Wenshui continued to mutter. Isn't second brother working in the fields? Why can't I find him? It's so strange. Zhao Baoshan was confused. When Zhao Baoshan left today, he said he went to weed in the field. Why didn't he do it now? There was only one field. If Baoshan wasn't there, it meant he really didn't go. Li Chuiying rolled her eyes and suddenly thought that Zhao Wenshui must have gone to find Qian Chuanxiu. She cried and yelled, Father, Wenshui must have gone to find Widow Qian. Look, he's hiding it from us. Zhao Baoshan heard that and thought it was very likely. He felt even more upset. Baoshan is really good at lying. No one is better than him. I must skin him alive today. Zhao Baoshan said and stood up. He was going to find Zhao Wenshui at Qian Chuanxiu's place. If he was caught on the spot, it would be confirmed. At this time, Ma Xiaofeng suddenly walked towards old Zhao's house. Everyone's eyes fell on Ma Xiaofeng. If Zhao Wenshui had gone to Qian Chuanxiu's place, Ma Xiaofeng must have known. Ma Xiaofeng felt nervous when she saw everyone staring at her. She didn't know what had happened. Why were there so many people in old Zhao's house? Could it be that something bad had happened? Ma Xiaofeng was hesitating whether she should go over or not when someone pulled her. Xiaofeng, did Zhao Wenshui go to your house just now? Yeah, did you see Zhao Wenshui? Did you come from your home? Xiaofeng, did you come here for something? Did you come here to find out what happened? Ma Xiaofeng was very confused by their questions. What on earth were they talking about? After thinking for a while, they suddenly asked Zhao Wenshui. Did someone find out about her mother and Zhao Wenshui? Ma Xiaofeng's heart skipped a beat. She was a little flustered. If someone found out, it would be a big deal. Ma Xiaofeng quickly replied, No. She wasn't lying. She really didn't. But Ma Xiaofeng's words were not credible at all in the villagers' ears. Chapter 1361. Exactly. She's so young, but she already knows how to lie. She must be helping her mother. Otherwise, why would she say that? Ma Xiaofeng felt a little wronged. I didn't lie to you. It's true. I didn't see Zhao Wenshui on my way here. Seeing Ma Xiaofeng's pitiful look, she insisted that she didn't see Zhao Wenshui, but they couldn't force her to admit it. Xiaofeng, since you said you didn't see Zhao Wenshui, tell us. Have you seen him in your house before? Does he often come to your house? Ma Xiaofeng frowned and replied in a low voice, No. I haven't seen him in my house before. The villagers might believe her when she said she didn't see Zhao Wenshui the first time, but they didn't believe her when she said she didn't see Zhao Wenshui. After all, the villagers had seen Zhao Wenshui coming to Qian Chuanxiu's house several times, so Ma Xiaofeng was aware of it. However, it was normal for Ma Xiaofeng to protect Qian Chuanxiu. After all, Ma Xiaofeng was Qian Chuanxiu's daughter. She could not protect her own mother and help others expose this scandal. Little Feng, just tell the truth. Anyway, it's not like the people in our village don't know about your mother and Zhao Wenshui. Exactly. You're a girl now. Why don't you persuade your mother in case she leads you astray in the future? Xiaofeng, you need to be more careful. You need to know what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Don't be like your mother in the future. Stop it. Xiaofeng has been pregnant for a long time. I've seen her and that Lu San pulling each other's hands. I don't know if they've done anything shameful. Ma Xiaofeng could tolerate it when they talked about Chen Chu and Xiu, but now they talked about her and Lu San. Ma Xiaofeng couldn't stand it anymore. She explained to the villagers at once, I didn't. Don't accuse me. You have to be responsible for your words. TSK, 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 this girl still won't admit it. Let's not talk about your matter for the time being. How many people in the village have seen your mother's matter? Could it be fake? That mother of hers is dressed to the nines. It's obvious that she's trying to seduce men. That's right. Which decent woman in the village would dress like that? Ma Xiaofeng bit her lower lip angrily, but there was nothing she could do. She didn't know what to do. At this moment, she was surrounded and criticized. Although most of them were talking about Chen Chu and Xiu, as her daughter, she was inevitably implicated. Now, there was only a feeling of being unable to lift his head. It was all her mother's fault. She knew that she couldn't hide the truth forever. Now the whole village knew about it. In the future, no matter where she went, she would inevitably be criticized by the villagers. Just as the villagers were talking about Chen Chu and Xiu and Ma Xiaofeng, a man came over. It was Zhao Wenshui. Everyone stopped talking and looked at Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui carried a hoe on his shoulder. When he came back, he was even whistling a tune. He seemed to be very relaxed. Once Zhao Wenshui came back, he saw a yard full of villagers, and they were all looking at him. Zhao Wenshui frowned with confusion and asked, What are you doing? You're all standing in my yard and staring at me. What are you doing? Chapter 1362. Zhao Baoshan questioned Zhao Wenshui when he saw him coming back. Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Baoshan in shock. Father, why did you ask me that? Of course I'm going to work in the fields. What's wrong? Zhao Baoshan felt that Zhao Wenshui was being stubborn and was still lying. He snorted coldly and said, You're already at this stage and you're still lying. You said that you went to work in the fields. Then tell me, why didn't your elder brother find you when he went to the fields to look for you? Where did you go? Why don't you tell me the truth? Zhao Wenshui was even more shocked. He had gone to work in the fields. Who knew why his elder brother had not seen him? Zhao Wenshui thought for a while. If his eldest brother didn't find him, he must have. Zhao Wenshui flushed when he saw so many people around. He was too embarrassed to say that. Father, I really went to work. I didn't lie to you. Zhao Wenshui lowered his head and murmured. Zhao Baoshan glared at Zhao Wenshui, then slapped Zhao Wenshui. You son of a bitch! Why don't you tell me the truth? Since you went to work, why don't you explain why your eldest brother didn't find you? Zhao Wenshui lowered his head and murmured, Father? What? You can't say a word now, can you? Zhao Wenshui glanced at Zhao Baoshan, then turned to look at the surrounding villagers. Wasn't his father forcing him to confess what he had done in front of the entire village? Facing Zhao Baoshan's fierce eyes, Zhao Wenshui pursed his lips, then told the truth in the end. Father, I suddenly had a stomachache and I wanted to take a dump, so I hid in the field to take a dump. When my eldest brother went to find me, he couldn't find me. If others saw me doing it, it would be so embarrassing. Hearing Zhao Wenshui's words, Zhao Baoshan was displeased. Zhao Baoshan didn't pay attention to his words. He didn't know whether he really went to poop or just came up with this lousy excuse. He kept staring at Zhao Wenshui with suspicion. Zhao Wenshui continued to complain, Dad, I'm telling the truth. I didn't lie to you. I just went to take care of my sh*t. If you don't believe me, I can take you to have a look right now. The poop is right on the ridge of the field. You'll know that I'm telling the truth after you see it. Hearing Zhao Wenshui's words, the onlookers felt like they smelled poop and wanted to throw up. Judging from Zhao Wenshui's expression, he didn't seem to be lying. However, the villagers still murmured, Zhao Wenshui is so interesting. Interesting? It's disgusting. He's an adult, but he can say anything. How can he be so shameless? There are so many people here. We can't blame him for being so straightforward. In fact, I don't think it's a big deal. He's telling the truth. Since we're questioning him, he can't deny it. You're right. Zhao Baoshan saw that there were so many people here. If he allowed Zhao Wenshui to continue, Zhao Wenshui might say something else. It would be a joke again. Chapter 1363. Zhao Wenshui was struck dumb for a second. He didn't expect that his affair with Widow Qian would be exposed. Now that Zhao Wenshui questioned him in front of so many people, Zhao Wenshui panicked. What should he do now? One had to know that having an affair with another person was not allowed or recognized in the village. Once he was caught, the consequences would be very serious. Zhao Wenshui panicked for a while, then got his mind back. It was useless for him to panic. He had to insist that he couldn't admit it. Otherwise, he would be in trouble. Father, what are you talking about? I don't understand a word you just said. What's wrong with Widow Qian? There's nothing between us. After saying that, Zhao Wenshui felt a little guilty. He glanced at Zhao Baoshan. Li Chuing, who was lying on the ground, was mad. She stood up at once and rushed to Zhao Wenshui. She wanted to slap Zhao Wenshui several times. You're so heartless. You only know how to lie. How can you say that there's nothing between us? Are we all blind? Zhao Wenshui gave Li Chuing a glance. He was wondering why such a thing happened. Now it seemed that Li Chuing was the one who did it. This woman needed to be taught a lesson. She betrayed her man. There were so many people here, so it wasn't appropriate for her to do it. He would teach her a lesson after these people left. Wenshui, just tell us the truth. We can't make a mistake. If you admit your mistake and apologize to your wife now, no one will blame you for it. Zhao Yun listened to them. She thought that Zhao Baoshan was really protecting Li Chuing. Now it seemed that Zhao Baoshan was smart enough to protect Zhao Wenshui. After all, there was an 80% chance that this matter was true, and it would be confirmed. At that time, for the sake of the village's reputation, he would inevitably be punished by the village chief. What Zhao Baoshan said now was Zhao Wenshui and Qian Chuanxiu's business. It had nothing to do with other people in the village. None of the internal members of the two families made a fuss, so the other people in the village shouldn't interfere. Qian Chuanxiu was a widow, and there was no one in her in-laws' family, so no one would blame Qian Chuanxiu. However, Zhao Wenshui was different. Zhao Wenshui had a wife. In order for Zhao Wenshui not to be blamed, Li Chuing had to agree. Otherwise, if Li Chuing made a scene in front of Li Zheng would definitely give him an explanation. At that time, the punishment would probably be very severe. Zhao Wenshui didn't understand what Zhao Baoshan meant. Instead, he argued, Dad, I didn't do it. Zhao Baoshan looked at Zhao Wenshui with disappointment. You son of a bitch. Why don't you admit it? Dad, I didn't do it. How can I admit it? You're so stubborn. If you don't admit it, boss, give me a wooden stick. I must beat him until he tells the truth today. Zhao Wenshui hesitated for a while, then picked up a wooden stick and handed it to Zhao Baoshan. Dad, you won't really beat Wenshui, right? Zhao Wenshui asked in a low voice. After all, Zhao Wenshui was a grown-up now. It wasn't appropriate to beat him in front of so many people. If I don't beat him, he'll turn the world upside down. Zhao Baoshan picked up the wooden stick handed to him by Zhao Wenshui and hit Zhao Wenshui's body. Ah! Zhao Wenshui cried out miserably from the beating. Father, don't hit him, don't hit him. Chapter 1364. Father, I didn't do it. How can I admit it? You're so stubborn. I'll beat you to death. Zhao Baoshan beat Zhao Wenshui mercilessly. There were bruises all over Zhao Wenshui's body. Father, please stop beating me. I admit that I did go to Widow Qian, but it has nothing to do with me. It was the former widow who seduced me. After Zhao Wenshui said that, Ma Xiaofeng couldn't stay calm anymore. How could Zhao Wenshui be so shameless? How could he frame her mother? How could her mother face other people in the future in front of so many people? Ma Xiaofeng ran to Zhao Wenshui in anger and scolded Zhao Wenshui. You're lying. It was you who went to my mother. How could my mother seduce you? You're so shameless. It would have been better if Ma Xiaofeng had not mentioned it. Now that she had mentioned it, this matter was confirmed. Li Chuang sat on the ground and cried loudly. Father, did you hear that? Tianyu's father really hooked up with Widow Qian. Why is my life so miserable? Zhao Baoshan was displeased. He glared at Zhao Wenshui and didn't know what to say to Zhao Wenshui. Baoshan, stop yelling. Since he admitted it, he should apologize to you. No matter what, he'll give you an explanation. Zhao Baoshan said, then kicked Zhao Wenshui. Apologize to your wife right now. Although Zhao Wenshui was displeased, he had to apologize to Li Chuang in front of Zhao Baoshan. Tianyu's mother, it's all my fault. I couldn't resist the temptation and hooked up with someone else. Please forgive me. Li Chuang wiped the tears from the corner of her eyes. She didn't hate Zhao Wenshui that much anymore. She knew that it was normal for men to like to cheat. If she wanted to blame someone, she should blame Qian Chuanxiu. If Zhao Wenshui hadn't said that Qian Chuanxiu had seduced Zhao Wenshui wouldn't have hooked up with Qian Chuanxiu. Therefore, Li Chuang could forgive Zhao Wenshui, but Qian Chuanxiu had to teach him a lesson. Otherwise, she would feel uncomfortable. Father, since Widow Qian hooked up with Tianyu's father, I won't blame Tianyu's father, but Widow Qian Chuanxiu. The surrounding villagers agreed. That's right. That Widow Qian is so shameless. Don't you dress up all day just to seduce people? We can't just let Widow Qian go. We have to call the village chief over to deal with it. Mrs. Qian, why don't you call the village chief over? I'm sure he'll handle it well. I'll go to the village chief. Almost everyone in the village sided with Li Chuang. After all, Li Chuang was indeed the victim. In addition, the women in the village were jealous of Qian Chuanxiu's beautiful clothes, so they sided with Li Chuang. Ma Xiaofeng glared at Zhao Wenshui in anger. What a coward! He had the guts to do it but didn't have the guts to admit it. Now he blamed everything on her mother. Was he still a man? She had never seen such a man before. No, she couldn't let Zhao Wenshui act alone. Otherwise, the villagers would believe whatever Zhao Wenshui said. She had to call her mother over for a confrontation. Chapter 1365. After a while, Li Zheng walked over, and Qian Chuanxiu rushed over with a knife in her hand. Widow Qian is holding a knife. Is she going to kill someone? Who knows? I think she's going to kill someone. Tisk tisk. This woman must be crazy. That's right. She's a crazy woman. She thinks she'll be fine just because she's holding a knife. She should know who she is. Qian Chuanxiu ran to Zhao Wenshui and scolded Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui, you're so heartless. How dare you slander my reputation? I'll teach you a lesson. Seeing Widow Qian's knife, Zhao Wenshui's face turned pale in fear. He immediately hid behind Zhao Baoshan, in case Qian Chuanxiu would really cut him with the knife. Father, Widow Qian is going to kill someone. Help me protect her. Zhao Wenshui trembled and pulled Zhao Baoshan's sleeve. Zhao Baoshan rolled his eyes at Zhao Wenshui. How did he give birth to such a useless and cowardly son? Widow Qian, don't hold a knife. Let's talk nicely. Zhao Baoshan said to Qian Chuanxiu. Li Zheng walked in front of Qian Chuanxiu and said in a low voice, if you have something to say it peacefully. What do you mean by holding a knife in your hand? What if you hurt someone? Qian Chuanxiu took a few deep breaths to calm herself down. She snorted coldly and said, talk nicely? Okay, then I'll talk nicely. Zhao Wenshui is shameless. He insisted on coming to my house. How can it be that I seduced him? Li Chuang stood up from the ground and questioned Qian Chuanxiu with his hands on his waist. Stop quibbling. If you hadn't seduced my man, he would have come to find you. Bitch, why don't you admit that you seduced him? I seduced your man? Are you kidding me? There are so many men in the village. Of all the men I could seduce, why did I have to seduce yours? If it weren't for your man pestering me, would I be with him? Qian Chuanxiu's words implied that a man like Zhao Wenshui could only be treasured by Li Chuang. Li Chuang's expression immediately turned ugly. This be asterisk teeth. She's really taking advantage of me for granted. She's too much. Her man could have taken a fancy to anyone else, but he just had to take a fancy to this bitch, Qian Chuanxiu. After saying that, Qian Chuanxiu pointed the knife at Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui, you heartless man. Tell me yourself, did you come to find me? Now that you're talking about me, where's your face? Zhao Wenshui pursed his lips. He didn't expect Qian Chuanxiu to suddenly come over. Seeing Zhao Wenshui's guilty look, everyone had a rough idea of what was going on. Li Zheng cleared his throat and said loudly, I don't care who seduced who. What the two of you did was immoral. Now, apologize to Madame Li. No one in the village dared to disobey Li Zheng's words. They had to stay in the village in the future. If they offended Li Zheng, there would be a lot of trouble in the future. Qian Chuanxiu was very reluctant, but when she saw Li Zheng's serious expression, she didn't dare to say anything. She could only bow her head and apologize to Li Chuang with Zhao Wenshui. Li Chuang didn't accept it and said to Li Zheng, Lord Li Zheng, isn't it inappropriate to just apologize? Chapter 1366. Li Zheng, I just want to say one sentence. It's really unfair to Zhao family's sister-in-law. Who doesn't know how to say it? She didn't get any punishment after all. It was something that hurt the customs of the people. Li Zheng, your punishment is indeed too light. Mr. Chen's wife had an affair with another man. Her legs were broken and she was sent back to her mother's home. It's really inappropriate to punish Zhao Wenshui and widow Qian like this. Hearing the villagers' discussion, Li Zheng was also in a dilemma. He was very clear in his heart that this was indeed a little too lenient. As a Li Zheng, he had to do what he needed to do to convince the villagers. Otherwise, it would be difficult for him if the villagers caused a lot of trouble. After thinking for a while, Li Zheng said in a deep voice, since that's the case, punishment is unavoidable. How about 30 strokes each as a punishment? Mrs. Li, do you have any objections? 30 strokes. If they were hit hard, their butts would probably bleed. It was not a light punishment. However, Li Chuang couldn't wait to chop Qian Chuanxiu to death, but he knew that it was just a thought. Mrs. Li, what's wrong? Are you not satisfied with the punishment? Li Zheng asked in a serious tone. Li Chuang pursed her lips and could only reply, Li Zheng, of course it's up to you. If you say so, then so be it. Great, each of them will receive 30 strokes as a warning. If they have any dealings with each other in the future, punish them heavily. I won't go easy on them. Li Zheng said to Zhao Wenshui and Qian Chuanxiu very seriously. Hearing that, Zhao Wenshui and Qian Chuanxiu were so scared that their legs turned to jelly. How could a person withstand 30 strokes? He reckoned that half of his life would be gone from being tossed around. Qian Chuanxiu glared at Zhao Wenshui with hatred. It's all your fault. If anything happens to me later, I won't let you off. Zhao Wenshui pulled a long face. He couldn't even protect himself now. He was so scared that he didn't have the mood to care about Qian Chuanxiu. Since Li Zheng was present, someone immediately carried out the punishment. The two of them were pulled onto a bench and sprawled on it. The wooden sticks were taken from Li Zheng's house. It wasn't the first time that the villagers had been punished like this. The villagers in the yard were all watching the scene. As the wooden sticks slammed down, screams of agony could be heard. After 30 strokes, the two of them were still lying on the bench. They couldn't move. Everyone was shocked, but at the same time, they felt sorry for them. As for those who had an affair, they should be punished like this. Otherwise, it wouldn't be enough to vent their anger. When Li Zheng saw that the last stick had been struck, he said to the surrounding villagers, All right, everyone, go back. Don't stay at old Zhao's house to join in the fun. Those who deserved to be punished had been punished. Nothing would happen in the future. At the same time, everyone has to set an example today. The atmosphere in the village cannot be corrupted. You have to do well and don't let others see you as a joke. After watching the show and hearing Li Zheng's words, the villagers left in twos and threes. Old Zhao's yard immediately regained its peace. Chapter 1367. After all, he was her son. Although Hua Chunhua didn't usually dote on Zhao Wenshui, she couldn't bear to see Zhao Wenshui suffer now. As a mother, she couldn't bear to see her child suffer. She would feel sorry for him. Zhao Wenshui lay on the stool, looking a little weak. Seeing Hua Chunhua calling her, he replied weakly, "Mom?" Hua Chunhua sighed deeply. "Ai, Wenshui, are you all right? Don't scare me." It hurts. It hurts." Zhao Wenshui pouted and tears ran down from his eyes. Hua Chunhua felt even more sorry for him. It would be strange if it didn't hurt. A big wooden stick hit his butt, and it felt like a flower had bloomed. How could it not hurt? It was all because of their second daughter-in-law. Otherwise, their second son wouldn't have suffered so much. It's all because you married a good daughter-in-law. She wants her man to live a good life. But she only wants her man to suffer. Hua Chunhua complained. She obviously said it to Li Chuang. Li Chuang felt wronged. She wanted to punish Qian Chuanxiu, but she didn't expect that her man would be implicated. Li Zheng had his own considerations. After all, it wasn't one person's fault, so both of them would be punished at the same time. Zhao Baoshan sighed and said to Hua Chunhua, "Why are you so unreasonable? How can you blame our second daughter-in-law for this? He only has himself to blame. He doesn't think about doing serious things every day. He only knows how to make trouble for us. This time, he's lucky that he's still alive. Let's see how he'll torture himself to death next time." Hearing Zhao Baoshan's words, Zhao Wenshui felt a little disappointed. He was already in such a state, but his father still dared to say such words. It was too much. Zhao Baoshan continued to say angrily, "You're a big man, but you don't know shame at all. How dare you cry? It's not like he's dead. Fortunately, he's gone now. Otherwise, if the villagers saw him, they would probably laugh at our old Zhao family again." Zhao Wenshui endured the pain. His forehead was covered in cold sweat, but he couldn't say anything. After all, Zhao Baoshan was his father. Naturally, he had to listen to his father. Hua Chunhua angrily replied to Zhao Baoshan, "You old man, do you have any conscience? Wenshui is your son, how can you be so heartless? Really? It's precisely because he's my son that I have to discipline him properly. Otherwise, he'll turn the sky upside down. I can't be bothered to reason with an old man like you. You're being unreasonable. I can't be bothered to talk to you either. Our son and daughter are spoiled by you." Seeing that Zhao Baoshan and Hua Chunhua were arguing, Zhao Wentao stepped forward and said, "Father, mother, stop arguing. Second brother's injuries are serious. Let's hurry up and get him into the house. Let the doctor come over and take a look at him. He'll prescribe some medicine and apply it on his butt. He should recover faster." After Zhao Wentao finished speaking, Zhao Baoshan and Hua Chunhua stopped arguing. Hua Chunhua quickly nodded and responded, "Yes, yes, yes. Hurry up and get second brother into the house. Eldest brother, go and call doctor's son over to take a look at your second brother's butt." Chapter 1368. "Okay, mother. I'll go now." After that, Zhao Wenshi left the courtyard of old Zhao's house. Zhao Wentao helped Zhao Wenshui up from the stool and sent him to the second branch's room. Seeing Zhao Wenshui beaten like this, Li Chuang was also frightened. She couldn't let anything happen to her man. After all, the family needed a man to rely on in the future. Otherwise, as a woman, how could she live with a child? Wouldn't she become a widow like Qian Chuanxiu? Zhao Wenshui was carried into the room. Only Qian Chuanxiu was left alone. Looking at Qian Chuanxiu lying on the stool, she was also on the verge of death. Her condition was even more serious than Zhao Wenshui's. After all, Zhao Wenshui was a man. Men could withstand more torture than women. Ma Xiaofeng looked at Qian Chuanxiu's pale face and cried anxiously, "Mother, how are you? Are you okay?" "Mother, you have to hold on. Don't scare me. Mother, I'll take you home. Zhao Ping stood aside. There was nothing she could do. She didn't know what to say to comfort Ma Xiaofeng. Seeing Zhao Tianan come back, Zhao Ping hurriedly pulled Zhao Tianan and said to Zhao Tianan, Tianan, hurry up and help Xiaofeng's mother take her home. Xiaofeng's mother can't move because of the beating. Zhao Tianan heard about this on his way back. After Zhao Ping said this, she looked at Ma Xiaofeng and Qian Chuanxiu. Ma Xiaofeng also looked at Zhao Tianan. Ma Xiaofeng's eyes were hazy and full of tears. She looked very pitiful. Zhao Tianan's heart suddenly trembled. He couldn't bear to see Ma Xiaofeng like this. Zhao Ping urged Zhao Tianan, Tianan, what are you waiting for? Did you hear what big sister said? Liang Jinxiao sighed behind Zhao Tianan. He glanced at Ma Xiaofeng and her mother, and a trace of sympathy arose in his heart. He said to Zhao Tianan, Tianan, send Xiaofeng's mother back. There's no one here to send her back. Xiaofeng can't move by herself. Zhao Tianan hesitated whether or not he should go. Zhao Yuna was not happy. It was a good thing to help others, so she shouldn't stop him. However, Zhao Yun felt that it was inappropriate to let Zhao Tianan go over. He said to Liang Jinxiao, Mother, don't let Tianan go. If there's no one to send him back, let father send him back. Liang Jinxiao hurriedly waved his hand and said, No, you know, this matter just came out today. If your father sends him back, there will inevitably be rumors about your father and Xiaofeng's mother. Tianan will be fine. After all, Tianan is still young. Besides, Tianan and Xiaofeng's mother won't be implicated. Zhao Yuner didn't know how to refute. Her mother really thought too much. Zhao scolded loudly, Tianan, don't listen to your second sister. Hurry up and send Xiaofeng's mother back. Don't just stand there. Hurry up. Zhao Tianan glanced at Ma Xiaofeng again, and saw Ma Xiaofeng looking at him with tears in her eyes, full of expectation. In the end, Zhao Tianan couldn't bear to refuse, so he could only nod and say, Okay. Mother, I'll send her back. Zhao Tianan lowered his head, went to Qian Chuanxiu, and helped her up. Ma Xiaofeng looked at Zhao Tianan very gratefully. Tianan, thank you. Zhao Tianan didn't look at Ma Xiaofeng, and only replied indifferently, It's okay, you're welcome. Chapter 1369. When they arrived at Ma Xiaofeng's house, Zhao Tianan helped Qian Chuanxiu to the bed. Qian Chuanxiu closed her eyes weakly as if she couldn't hold on any longer. It seemed that the situation was a little serious. Not everyone could withstand 30 strokes of the rod, especially a woman who wasn't in good health. Qian Chuanxiu had always been poor and didn't eat much delicious food at all, so she suffered a lot and her body was weak. Ma Xiaofeng was very anxious. She lay on the head of Qian Chuanxiu's bed and kept calling Qian Chuanxiu's name. Mother, are you okay? Don't scare me. Mother. Seeing Ma Xiaofeng crying so sadly, Zhao Tianan felt his heart ache as he watched from the side. After sighing, he said to Ma Xiaofeng, Xiaofeng, don't cry. Go to Dr. Sun's house later to get some medicine and apply it on your mother. Ma Xiaofeng responded, Tianan, thank you so much for today. It's nothing. I've sent her back, so I'll leave first. Zhao Tianan said goodbye. He didn't want to stay at Ma Xiaofeng's house for too long. Otherwise, he was afraid that his heart would soften when he saw Ma Xiaofeng like this. Ma Xiaofeng got up and said, Tianan, let me walk you out. Zhao Tianan hurriedly refused, No, I can go back by myself. I'll walk you to the yard. Seeing Ma Xiaofeng insist, Zhao Tianan didn't know how to refuse, so he could only follow Ma Xiaofeng. However, when they reached the yard, Ma Xiaofeng suddenly threw herself into Zhao Tianan's arms. Zhao Tianan was stunned. Looking at the person in his arms, he opened his mouth and wanted to push Ma Xiaofeng away. Hearing Ma Xiaofeng crying in his arms, Zhao Tianan couldn't bear it. Xiaofeng, what's wrong? Well, Ma Xiaofeng couldn't stop crying, but she didn't say what was wrong. Zhao Tianan was a little helpless, but he knew that today's matter must have affected Ma Xiaofeng too much and made Ma Xiaofeng sad. Zhao Tianan had to comfort her. Xiaofeng, don't cry. Everything will be fine. Your mother invited a doctor back. I'm sure nothing will happen. Tianan, can you please not ignore me? Can the two of us still be the same as before? Seeing that you're ignoring me, I'm really upset. Tianan, I know it's my mother's fault in the past, but she also said that she wouldn't ask you for the 50 taels of silver as a wedding gift. Zhao Tianan sighed, then said to Ma Xiaofeng, Xiaofeng, it's not about the wedding gift anymore. I want to marry Mu Hin, so I can't marry you, and we can't be the same as before. Ma Xiaofeng sobbed louder. After a short silence, she said, Tianan, I like you. As long as I can be with you, I don't care about anything else. I'll even marry you with Mu Hin. It's normal for a man to have multiple wives. Tianan, you can marry me and Mu Hin at the same time. Ma Xiaofeng's words really shocked Zhao Tianan. Although it was normal for a man to have multiple wives in this era, in the countryside, only very rich families could marry more than one wife. Ordinary families were lucky enough to marry one wife. Chapter 1370. Ma Xiaofeng said that not because she really wanted to share a man with another woman, but because she had no other choice. Things were different now. Her body had been tainted by Lu San, and she was no longer a pure and innocent girl. Even if she were to look for someone else, what good could she find? Now that the affair between her mother and Zhao Wenxue had been exposed by the villagers, gossip and spittle could drown people. She was Qian Chuanxiu's daughter, so it was inevitable that she would be scolded. It was basically impossible for her to marry into another man. What he wanted was a girl from a pure family, not a girl like her. Therefore, her only way out now was to hold onto Zhao Tianan. Even if she was thick-skinned and unscrupulous, she had to take Zhao Tianan back from Mu Hin. Zhao Tianan stammered, Xiaofeng, this can't be done. Tianan, why can't you? Ma Xiaofeng asked anxiously. Since I'm going to marry Mu Hin, I naturally have to be responsible for her. I can't let her be too sad. If I marry you, she'll definitely be sad. Xiaofeng, you're so good. You can definitely find a better man. Trust me. Saying that, Zhao Tianan pushed Ma Xiaofeng away from his arms. She couldn't hesitate. In the end, it would only break their hearts. Seeing Zhao Tianan push her away resolutely, Ma Xiaofeng's heart suddenly sank. She was very desperate. She had already put down her face to say such words, but Zhao Tianan was still unmoved. She reckoned that Zhao Tianan wouldn't have any thoughts about her anymore. Zhao Tianan turned around and saw Mu Hin. Mu Hin was standing not far away. Mu Hin must have seen how Ma Xiaofeng hugged him just now. Zhao Tianan suddenly panicked. He walked to Mu Hin and explained nervously, Mu Hin, please don't misunderstand. Mu Hin's lips curled into a smile. His eyes were bright as he smiled at Zhao Tianan and said, Tianan, you don't have to explain to me. I believe in you. I believe in you. Hearing Mu Hin's words, Zhao Tianan was suddenly touched. Previously, when he was with Mu Hin, they were seen by Ma Xiaofeng. However, Ma Xiaofeng did not believe him. She questioned him and even argued with him. When it came to Mu Hin was completely different. The two of them were completely different. It was precisely because of such a contrast that Zhao Tianan felt more and more moved in his heart. Mu Hin. Zhao Tianan looked at Mu Hin. He knew what to say. He walked to Mu Hin and held Mu Hin's hand tightly. Let's go back. Mu Hin greeted him with a smile. But Zhao Tianan nodded. On the other side, Dr. Sun had just been invited to the courtyard of old Zhao's house. Dr. Sun went to the second branch's room and helped Zhao Wenxue take a look at his buttocks. After he was done, he sighed and said, Fortunately, his buttocks are big and his flesh is thick. It's not a big deal, just a little painful. He just needs to lie on the bed and recuperate well. Hearing Dr. Sun's words, Hua Chunhua and Li Chuing sighed at the same time. Hua Chunhua went to Dr. Sun and said to him, Dr. Sun, are you going to prescribe some medicine for my second son? Chapter 1371. Hua Chunhua nodded and said, "That'll do." As Dr. Sun spoke, he took out 2 medicine bottles from his medicine box and handed them to Hua Chunhua. "Rub this medicine on your butt every day. You just have to rub it on your butt once in the morning and night." Hua Chunhua took them and handed them to Li Chuang. She said to Li Chuang, "Second daughter-in-law, did you hear what Dr. Sun said? Rub this medicine on your man's butt once in the morning and night." Li Chuang took it and responded with a grunt. Yes, I got it, mother." Hua Chunhua continued to ask Dr. Sun, "Dr. Sun, how much does this medicine cost in total?" "Originally, 1 bottle costs 200 copper coins. Now that I've added 2 bottles together, I'll give you 350 copper coins. I can't go any lower." Hearing Dr. Sun say 350 copper coins, Hua Chunhua and Li Chuang both felt their hearts ache at the same time. However, they still had to buy the medicine, even though it was a little expensive. Hua Chunhua called out to Li Chuang and said, "Second daughter-in-law, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and give the medicine money to Dr. Sun." Li Chuang responded in a low voice, "Mother, I'll go get it right away." Li Chuang's heart ached so much that it was bleeding, but he had no choice but to go get the money. Opening his wardrobe, Li Chuang sadly found that the money in the wardrobe was gone. Li Chuang muttered, "Where's the money? Where's my money? I remember putting it here. Why is it gone? It's so strange." Seeing Li Chuang muttering something, Hua Chunhua frowned and asked Li Chuang, "What's wrong?" "Second daughter-in-law. Mum, my money is missing. Let me look for it." Hua Chunhua glared at Li Chuang. "You be teach, why don't you keep the money properly? Hurry up and look for it. Where are you going to pay for second brother's medicine if you lose it?" Li Chuang frowned, feeling wronged. "Mom, I remember that it's still in the cupboard. We've searched the whole cupboard but we still can't find it. Could it have been stolen?" The more Li Chuang thought about it, the more he felt it was possible. After all, she remembered it clearly and didn't forget anything. Hua Chunhua's face darkened. Stolen? Who could have stolen it? After Hua Chunhua finished speaking, she suddenly thought of Zhao Wenshui, who was lying on his stomach. He immediately questioned Zhao Wenshui angrily. "Wenshui, you brat, tell me honestly, did you steal your family's money?" I didn't steal it. Mom, I think it must be Tianyu's father who stole it. He gave the money to Widow Qian. People in the village said that Widow Qian bought beautiful clothes a few days ago, so they were wondering where she got the money. Now it seems that Tianyu's father gave it to her." Hearing Li Chuang's words, Hua Chunhua thought it was very reasonable. It was highly possible. He stared at Zhao Wenshui, who was lying on the bed, and scolded, "This black-hearted bastard, all he knows is to do this kind of thing. He must have stolen the leftovers from our house and given them to Widow Qian. How did I raise such a good son? It's fine if he steals other people's things, but why does he have to steal from his own family? How can there be such a shameless bastard?" Zhao Wenshui lay on the bed, not daring to say a word. After all, it was the truth, and he felt very guilty. Chapter 1372. Hua Chunhua said angrily, "What's the point of treating such a black-hearted and useless son? Just let him be. It's fine even if he dies from the pain. You're so angry when you see this useless son of AB***. Hua Chunhua was worried about her son just now, but now she felt that Zhao Wenshui was not worthy of her concern. Zhao Wenshui lay on the bed and panicked. "Mom, you can't do this to me. I'm your son. If anything happens to me, you'll have to bury your son." Hua Chunhua glared at Zhao Wenshui. "You know that you'll have to bury your son? Why don't you do something serious every day? You've brought shame to our old Zhao family. Aren't you afraid that I won't be able to raise my head in front of others in the future?" "Mom," Li Chuang stood aside. Seeing her man like this, she felt guilty. Although she was angry when she found out that Zhao Wenshui had stolen money from their family and given it to Qian Chuanxiu, Zhao Wenshui had to be safe. She couldn't live without a man. She needed a pillar of support in the family. Otherwise, if Zhao Wenshui left, she would have a hard time in old Zhao's family in the future. "Mom, don't be angry. Tianyu's father is just immature. After what happened today, I'm sure he'll repent. Li Chuiying comforted her. Zhao Wenshui followed behind Li Chuiying and said, yes, yes, yes. Mother, I will definitely change in the future. I will definitely change. Please, don't argue with me. Huo Chunhua snorted. Mom, why don't you lend me 350 copper coins to buy medicine for Tianyu's father? When Jing gets married and her in-laws send the money over, I'll return it to you immediately. Li Chuiying discussed with Huo Chunhua. Huo Chunhua thought for a while and looked at Zhao Wenshui, who was seriously injured on the bed. Finally, she agreed. Oh, okay. After all, he was her son. She felt bad that Zhao Wenshui was hurt. Huo Chunhua said and went back to her room. She took out 350 copper coins and gave it to Dr. Sunday. Wenshui's wife, you have to remember that this money is for you, not for you. Huo Chunhua reminded them worriedly. I know, Ma. Don't worry. I'll definitely return it to you. Wenshui, second brother's wife, please take good care of second brother. After Huo Chunhua finished speaking, she went out of the third branch's room. On the other side, in the third branch's room, Zhao Ping was scolding Zhao Wenshui. She seemed to be fighting for Ma Xiaofeng. Zhao Yun looked at Zhao Ping as if she was looking at an idiot. Zhao Ping really liked to meddle in other people's business. She was really sincere to Ma Xiaofeng. After a while, seeing Zhao Tianan come back, Zhao Yun breathed a sigh of relief. At least this younger brother of hers was not stupid. She thought that Zhao Tianan would stay at Ma Xiaofeng's house for a while. After lunch, Zhao Yun went back. Zhao Yun didn't want to think about so many troublesome things. She felt upset when she thought about it. After returning home, Mu Lianfeng was not there. He was busy on the mountain. Zhao Yun stir-fried some tea. In the afternoon, Zhao Tianhu returned the donkey. Seeing that Zhao Tianhu was in a good mood, Zhao Yun smiled and teased, second cousin, how did it feel to visit your wife's house today? You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.